What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel E-Man Noisette, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out to hang out with your boy. We have got so many good things to talk about today. We have got to we finally got a trailer for the Michael biopic, so we will watch that today. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted or the live stream stop. We have got I've got my Predator Borderlands review, so I will give you guys that review, spoiler free. And then we got a little Hawkeye drama. Yeah, we got a little drama with the Hawkeye Avenger. We're gonna get into that. That's gonna be juicy. But yes, we've got all that and a little bit more. So first and foremost, let us see who has made it out and who is joining. Let's see. Paulette coming through. How you doing? Good to see you. Dexter Reason, appreciate you coming through. Only Samk, appreciate you as well. Last of my kin, how you doing? SD, how you doing, man? Appreciate you. King Chad coming through with his birthday on November 1st. Happy birthday. I know we skipped last week. News was a little dry, but we got it together. We're back. But it looks like you got a Wakandan spear from that Chad used in Black Panther. I'm jealous. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. And happy belated birthday. Callow, good to see you. Jesus, how you doing? Mitch, appreciate you. Good to see you. My man Lou is here. Good to see you. Eugene, how you doing? Let's see. Is that Diane? Good to see Diane. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. Animals are cute. Appreciate you. Let's see. Zia Latrice, how you doing? Come on through. Ms. Harper, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. Gothic Chick, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Oh, it's my birthday's long gone. But I'll take it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Let's see. Trees, how you doing, ma'am? Thank you so much for being here. Who else I see? My man Corey is here. Good to see you. Let's see. Rock, how you doing? My man Sheed, good to see you. 60 plus, how are you? We got the homie Tracy Ann is here. Good to see you. Let's see. Shogun, how you doing? Christy, been a while. Good to see you. On the replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang. All good. Amanda, appreciate you coming through. Who else? Shar, hello. My man Theo's here. Rizzo, how you doing? My man Nelson B. CJ, good to see y'all. Mad, good to see you too. Let's see. Mama Linda, appreciate you coming through. My man Mike is here. Always a pleasure. Tyra, thank you so much for coming through. JT, how you doing? Who else? Music Man, appreciate you. And we got the Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. And shout out to everyone that has made it out, guys. I really do appreciate you. Let's see. Natalie coming through with a little love in the beginning. R.I.P. Blade. It was supposed to come out today. Yeah. Yes, it was. It's a lot of things. There were a lot of things. I think we were also supposed to get Avengers. I think we were supposed to get Avengers Kang Dynasty, I want to say, or maybe it was Doomsday, whichever one. We were supposed to get that today, and yeah, that did not happen. Let's see. What's JN? Thank you so much. What you got? Did you get a copy of the Absolute Batman Annual #1? I did not. The Darren Warren Johnson cover. EFAM question: can we crowdfund to buy WB? I got 5 on it. Maybe Mackenzie Bezos could help us out. Just saying. That would listen. She has been an ally. Okay, she has been an ally for sure. But no, I have not gotten the Absolute Batman. I'll be honest. The Absolute Batman, like, I've seen the images and stuff. The drawings are just not speaking to me. It's eccentric. It's out there. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it does not appeal to me. I did see the image of my man sitting there breaking the arm of the white supremacist. That I was like, okay, Batman, go ahead and do your thing now. But it just has not appealed to me, overall. So I'm probably going to skip it, but but if it is great, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it for sure. All right, let's go through a couple of these topics. I don't think we're going to be here too long. Let me stop saying that. First and foremost, I saw somebody had asked about this and I missed it. So let me go ahead and address this. We have a Kobe update. I know it's been a while. It's been a while because, Kobe's actually been pretty good, until recently. Y'all dog, the people's dog, is a whole thief. That's right. Kobe is a thief. Kobe has been not on his best behavior. So I had to take measures into my own hands. First, with the allegations. The dog has been caught red-pawed. I would say red-handed, but red-pawed a couple of times. There was a couple of times, he has his little bed in the corner, and it's like a little pillow bed, and we would kind of go over there, and there's always stuff in there. Like, it's always stuff in his bed, little pieces of plastic, napkins, just stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you got all these toys here. What are you doing? So, I'm sitting here like, all right, we got to investigate this. What is going on, man? Why are you collecting garbage and why are you putting it in your bed? Now, I did a little research. I'm always trying to learn new things because I'm a first-time pet owner like that. So I'm trying to learn, and I'm reading stuff up like, hey, when dogs start putting stuff in their little areas and stuff, they can get territorial, right? So I'm sitting here like, okay, and I overheard my daughters trying to have him move away so they can clean up his stuff or whatever, and I heard him kind of growling, and I'm like, hey, bro, that's what we not gonna do, right? Like, on the totem pole, you at the bottom. I don't care if it's my youngest kid. If she tell you to move, you move. So the fact that he's getting a little territorial with this garbage, I'm like, we not gonna play that. So I said, okay, we have to nip this in the bud. We have to, with dogs, you can't really correct a behavior after it's already been done. So you have to catch them in the act. So I said, okay, cool. Told my kids, don't worry about it. Dad's got this, right? So first of all, we started cleaning up, making sure that, no garbage on the floor and stuff like that. So that's first and foremost, right? Let's not give him no reason to do nothing like this. So I started to notice a pattern. The garbage was not stuff on the floor. We got this little ottoman, right? Like in the middle of the living room. You could bring your little snacks. It's a little tray there. You could eat while you're sitting on the couch or whatever. And I started to notice that's where he was taking the stuff. He was taking stuff. Now, the thing is, I didn't expect that he would go there because that territory is kind of like mine, right? I'm the alpha, right? I'm the alpha dog. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, hey, man, I know you're not going in my tray and taking stuff off the tray. Okay, so now Operation Stop Thievery has begun. I set up my laptop. I have a laptop downstairs, webcam and everything. And I have it doing like a live recording, right? So I can use my phone, remote into my laptop, and I can look through the webcam. So I got it positioned right there, looking at Kobe's bed, and right there looking at the tray, right? All right, cool. So I put up some bait. All right. I took a napkin and I put some peanut butter on it and I put it right there. Right now, here's the thing. Kobe ain't no average dog. Okay. He be dumb, but he's smart at the same time. So, Kobe has, now keep in mind also, I still have the wireless collar on him. Right. And just so people understand, the wireless collar is not something that people should be using to shock dogs or whatever. That is not good. That does not actually help. That actually messes dogs up. However, you can use the other problematic settings like the sound, like just a beep or a small vibration, which I do either one of those. I don't do the shocking stuff. So keep that in mind. Kobe's not dumb, but he is smart. Well, he's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. This dog waits, and I'm gonna tell you the routine. he waits 5 minutes until you leave the room before he checks and does whatever he does, right? So I go upstairs. I'm still on the phone. I'm watching him. I'm watching him close. I go upstairs. I'm watching him. 5 minutes go by. 5 minutes. He gets up. He walks around. He goes and looks upstairs to make sure everybody's upstairs. Then he walks back around. He sniffs. He's looking for stuff on the ground. See if somebody leaves some crumbs or something. He goes to the bathroom. He goes to the back door. He wants to see if there's anything over there. Then he comes back right to the middle where the ottoman is. And then you see his nose percolating in the air. Just, what is that, peanut butter? And you see him just sniffing around. And I'm sitting there looking like, boy, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, here's the thing. Sniffing is like a dog's first sense. They can smell better than they can see. So I don't have a problem with him sniffing. That's okay. You curious? That's cool. Just don't let your nose get you in trouble. So he starts sniffing some more. Then he goes to his bed. And I was like, man, that's a good boy. Okay. But then he got back up. And he went right back to the corner and started sniffing. Then he started positioning himself in between the couch and the ottoman because he needed a better sniff of the peanut butter. And I said, boy, don't do it. Please don't do it. Then the dog got a little closer. And a little bit of that peanut butter hit his nose. So he like, oh, he got a taste of that peanut butter. And then he went all the way in and went in for the peanut butter on the napkin. And I had to say, beep, and I hit him with the remote. Just, beep. He was like, ooh, what? How did? I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. So I got him, right? Because that sound, it disrupts the behavior, right? He heard that beep. It was like the popos were coming out like, you know. He was like, man, let me go sit over there. Now, here's the thing. I come back downstairs. I remove the stuff, and I'm like, man, you failed, right? You failed. So then the next day happens. I do it again. Little piece of peanut butter, put it on a napkin, put it on the chair, go upstairs. I'm chilling. 5 minutes. He gets up, walks around, looks upstairs. Yep, okay. Does his little check around the thing, comes back. Ooh. Is that peanut butter I smell? He smells the peanut butter. He gets a whiff. And he looks at the tray. And he goes back to bed. And he stays there. 20 minutes. He stays there. I said, boy, I got to see. Now, here's the thing. It's about correction, right? It's not about punishment. I go downstairs. I give him some treats. I'm like, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. That I need you to know. It's okay if you smell, but as long as you don't act on it, good things will happen. I give him some of the turkey tips, whatever the little turkey treats. I'm like, man, go ahead, get you some. The next day, this is about like 2 days. This is, by the way, a 2-week process that's been happening. All right, so we on the next day. I'm eating my dinner or whatever, and I happen to have some leftovers. You know, I'm not gonna finish everything, so I leave it there, right? And you know, it's got some meat in there, some savory type stuff. I go upstairs. I'm watching on my phone. 5 minutes. He gets up, walks around, looks upstairs, comes back, does his little circle. The note. Oh, is that teriyaki beef? Oh. He looks at the tray. He looks upstairs, looks at the tray, and goes back to his bed. I said, come on, that's a good boy. I wait about 30 minutes. He never gets back up. I'm like, boy, I go back downstairs. I said, here you go. Pop, pop, pop. Get you them turkey get them treats. Go ahead and treat yourself, boy. Good stuff. Next day, do the same thing with some different meats or different whatever. He ignores it. I come down. I'm like, man, for 2 hours, he just ignored the food on the tray. I said, boy, here's some more treats. Like, you're doing great. Remember, I told y'all, the problem was not the fact that he was sitting there stealing food. Now, he was thinking about it, but that's not the problem. The problem was the random junk and plastic and napkins that he would find and put it in his little play area. I said, all right. Came back, walked up next to the ottoman, and I went right in front of him. Was like, yep, just got these napkins here. Yep, just gonna set these napkins right here. Now I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, if you can resist the food that was out there and the peanut butter, you were gonna resist some napkins, right? Like this. Come on, man. I go upstairs. I'm watching on my phone. 5 minutes. He gets up, walks around, looks upstairs, comes back, looks all the way, makes his little patrol. Then he goes right next to the napkins. He's like, oh. Takes a little sniff. Okay. Comes back like, is that some napkins over there? Oh. He goes to bed. Then he comes back. And he's like, oh, smelling kind of napkin-y over there. Okay. Then he starts to reach his head for another whiff. And then he starts to nibble. Just let me nibble on the... I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to go to sleep. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. My man fell for the good old napkin on the ottoman trick. I came downstairs. I took the napkins away, and I just shook my head in disappointment. Then the very next day, I did it again. Put the napkins right there on the tray. He got up 5 minutes, walked around, did his whole thing, came back, looked at them napkins, and was like, nah, and went to bed. I came down, I gave that boy a treat, and that was that. So I think and I hope that this is the end of his thieving ways. I do believe in criminal reform. I do believe in criminal rehabilitation. I'm sorry he had to go through that. But the whole thing is, I had to make sure he understood good things happen when you're not a thief. Okay? When you're not stealing. We don't raise no thieves around here. Anyway, I think everything is fine now. He's been on the right path for the last 2 days. He hasn't fallen for any other traps. He's a reformed ex-felon. Okay? So I believe in second and third chances. He's gotten those. I think we're all right. But boy, them sirens, when he heard them beep, that shook his soul. Shook his soul. Anyway, just wanted to give y'all that. I'm sorry. That was a whole lot of Kobe talk right there, but just wanted to let y'all know. All right. Let's see. We actually have a whole bunch of other stuff. Let me see. Hold on, Tracy. Here we go. Kobe, you are now repped against this. Clear entrapment will get you that video in discovery and get you a not guilty napkins free Kobe. So first of all, no, because the jurisdiction in this household is out of everyone else's. I object. Sustained. Like, I don't know these words, but I'm just going to say object. Whatever they say in Law and Order where I win. No, But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. He does need some free legal counsel. He definitely needs some free legal counsel. So I appreciate you trying to help in. Oh man. Let's see. What's it? Larry, what you got? Man, thank you so much. Yo, E-Man, I'm on a trip to Cholula, Mexico. Is that I say that right? I hope I did. And spent the day chilling on a pyramid, drinking beer with shrimp in it. That's a thing? Okay. Speaking of dogs, I've been making friends with all the gangs of street dogs here, cold burritos in my pockets. Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting trap for them. Like they will absolutely follow you with some cold burritos in your pocket. First of all, why do you have cold burritos in your pocket? Like what? Were you just bringing them back from the pyramids? Anyway, sounds like a great time. Sounds like a fantastic time. That is great to hear. Let's see. Tiger Fist, you checking out Tyler Perry's new film, Find and Joy? Are you new? What? Are you new? Like, what are we? No, 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 I will not. No, I will not. My man Mike. Before you get started, them Bears are wild. How about them Bears? How about them Bears? Yes, sir. Chicago Bears, we out here. We out here. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, I can't wait to watch this match too against New York. Woo! Can't wait. Cannot wait. Should be a great game. That boy Jackson Dart is a problem though. He is doing some things. He is doing some things. All right, I'm sorry. We done sidetracked a whole way. Let's get into the actual news. Talk about some things here. Let's go over some quick updates. We got random topics that we'll go through and give you some thoughts and stuff. So we had talked about this last 2 weeks ago about how WB is for sale, right? We've seen WB going through financial issues, going back and forth with all these different people buying them and stuff. And Discovery was the last company that bought them out. So now, after some successful financial moves and successes in the box office, they're up for sale. I already talked to y'all about how it was already kind of shady, how the government is trying to put their finger on the scale by having Paramount buy WB. But we have at least some other players. We know some other studios and companies were trying to get in on this, but it seems like the ball is rolling a little bit more because now Comcast or NBC Universal is now exploring a bid to buy Warner Brothers. They have hired the bankers to evaluate an offer and access WB's financials. The access to it has been given to them. So that is definitely something that is moving forward. I mean, if Comcast gets WB, I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world, but unfortunately, you do have some of the issues that could happen, which is, as we've been seeing, this current government has been influencing media outlets and companies to either promote certain things or to silence other shows or TV hosts that, let's just say, don't agree with them. So it's possible that you might lose certain news outlets or other things that, let's just say, this administration don't really like. But in addition to that, not only has Comcast made a bid, but so is Netflix. Netflix is now actively exploring the possibility of buying Warner Brothers. They have also hired the same investment bank that advised Skydance when they bought Paramount. Now, at first, we were talking about Netflix only wanting the assets to the Warner Brothers catalog. Like they weren't trying to buy all of Warner Brothers. They were just trying to buy some of the films and projects and stuff that they could just put on the Netflix. But now it's sounding like they're ready to just buy the company. This scares me. Now, I don't think that this will happen because you don't want Netflix to get even bigger. They're already number one in the market. You're going to have like that whole antitrust issues. You're going to have a monopoly. Like that's going to be a problem, Now, I do think on the consumer side, Netflix having more content is possibly a good thing. But at the same time, I also see them increasing the amount of money that they're going to charge people. And y'all already know the Snyderites are going to be out. Y'all already know the hashtags are going to be bothering us again. The restore the Snyderverse nonsense about to start up, like it's going to be a whole problem. So hopefully none of that transpires. I'm still rooting for Apple. I'm still hoping that Apple ends up buying Warner Brothers, because I feel like Apple will just be like, hey man, we got so much money, y'all could just keep doing what y'all do, and we just gonna keep selling iPhones, but y'all just work for us. Like I feel like Apple will not actually interfere with how they do stuff, and they'll just go ahead and let WB run separately, smoothly. And what I would love in a dream scenario, Apple has incredibly good content that does not really get seen. There's a lot of stuff on Apple TV that people just, I think, if it happened to be on HBO Max, or like if you brought the Apple catalog and put that on HBO Max, I think Apple would actually blow up even more, because more people would be like, yo, I didn't know this show existed, or this content is actually pretty good, because you're bringing in really good quality on a platform that already has good quality in HBO Max. I think that would be great. But, we'll have to wait and see. But y'all let me know how you feel about these mergers or acquisitions, if they even happen. Next up, I got some ridiculous news, and that is Ridiculousness has been canceled by MTV after 14 years and 46 seasons. I don't think I've watched a single full episode. I have watched a couple, but this show, 46 seasons is nuts. 14 years for one show is crazy. I barely watched this, and I think like the only time I watched it was, I think it was like on MTV3. Like I don't even know if it was on MTV2. Like I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you where to go find this. But man, my man's definitely got shows for days. And usually when you have that many seasons, that means that you could probably get syndicated. You can have an entire channel with 14 seasons of this, and you can have your own channel. Like I've seen this on Samsung, for example. They have Samsung TV. There's literally a channel for My Little Pony. My girls like that kind of stuff. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, y'all got that much to make a whole channel? This could absolutely do this. So, man, dude is getting paid for sure. But I need to know, did y'all ever watch this? Like, I just wasn't my thing. But if you have, let me know. How do you feel about it officially being canceled now? Feel free to let me know. Next up, about that whole Rambo prequel, the Russo brothers are not directing, but they will executive produce the movie. And they are still trying to get Noah Centineo in talks to star as the young Rambo. Keep in mind, this is also the guy that's going to play Ken in the Street Fighter movie. So, the Russo brothers producing, I mean, they're not terrible as producers, like what did they give us? They gave us The Gray Man. What else they produced? They produced Citadel. If I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me on this, I think the Russos are executive producers for From. I think. Somebody could double check that, but the Russos as executive producers are not bad. They're not bad. They're not bad. So that'll be kind of interesting to see where that goes with that pilot, with that prequel. Next up, we have some Toy Story updates. Tim Allen says that Toy Story 5 is all about Jessie. He says they reboot everything. It's all about Jessie, which is really cool. She's in trouble and she needs help. We're all over. So she has to gather everybody. I will say that I don't know about this. I don't know. I think Toy Story 3 was probably the best place that they could have ended the whole franchise. 4 already felt like a stretch. 5 feels like even more of a cash grab. I don't know how much more y'all can do with this whole franchise. Like, ah, uh, I don't know. But now y'all making this all about Jessie. Like, I didn't even care about Jessie like that. Like, she was an okay character, but yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they should. I mean, I get it. Like, first of all, I didn't realize how old Toy Story is. When did this come out? Let me see. Toy Story. What was that? 1995? Was it? Good God. This thing came out in 1995. 95. Now, I've clearly outgrown this, and I don't know. I have to check in with my kids to see if they care, but it's kind of like, when y'all gonna stop? When are y'all gonna stop? Like, ah, okay. I don't know if it still has that appeal, but y'all let me know if y'all interested with this being all about Jessie. Talk about a nostalgia trip. The Mummy is back, and Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz will return for the new film. The guys that did Scream 5, and I believe they also did Final Destination Bloodlines. They're doing the new Mummy movie. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, I mean, the Mummy was fantastic. When did the Mummy come out? 99, I think. I think it was 99, something like that. The Mummy was fantastic. It was great for its time. The second movie was cool too. The second movie was fine. The third one, I think that was the one with Jet Li in it. That didn't really do well. Then they tried to bring it back in like 2017 with Tom Cruise. That definitely didn't work. They tried to be all dark and make it more like a horror, and Tom Cruise tried to be more of a hero in there than he needed to be, and that was supposed to be the start of their dark universe. And all fail. So all I'm saying is, y'all started off with 2 solid movies. Third one went down. The reboot went down even further, and now y'all trying to come back and do a fourth? Ugh. Now, I remember Brandon Fraser, he did say something to the degree of like, the reason why the Tom Cruise one failed was because they tried to, not be fun and not be like this action comedy type thing. And I mean, maybe I just thought it was just bad writing. I thought that was the main part. I didn't mind that they got more serious with it. That was okay with me. I was just more upset at the fact that it just wasn't well written. Just didn't work. But now, shout out to Rachel Weisz, because Rachel Weisz still looks the same. She looks pretty much the same. I don't know what's going on, but she looks the same, so that's fine. Brendan, I mean, listen, and I'm not trying to be ageist at all, but my man has gotten older, and he does not have the quote unquote superhero look, that he used to. This used to be Encino Man now, right? I'm just saying, like, I don't know if action leading star is still in his repertoire. That's all, right? I don't know if he still got that. So maybe they play on that. Maybe, and I understand he also had some health issues, especially with this franchise. Like, he had a very, very bad time with this franchise. I believe he had like his throat messed up. Like, it was a bunch of crazy stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I need a trailer. We could see what y'all got in that. This kind of reminds me of how Nicolas Cage still wants to do a National Treasure movie, and I'm just like, why? Like, I mean, listen, those were great times. Them early 2000s, late 90s, that was fine back then. I don't know if those things need to come back now. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know. Are you looking forward to The Mummy, part 4. Does it matter that Brendan Fraser is coming back? Does that help? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Then, oh man, we're just gonna keep talking about Blast from the Past. Why not? We here. Gremlins 3 will release on November 19th, 2027 in theaters, and Chris Columbus is set to direct. He is the same guy that did the first movie. I don't believe he did the second Gremlins. Oh my gosh. Like, just Hollywood just be like, hey, go back to our catalog and see what we can do. Hey, that pile of new stories and new stuff, throw that away. We going back way back in the time and revive. Gremlins came out when the first movie came out. I think I might not have been born. I don't think I was born when Gremlins first came out. I'm old. I'm now in unk status. There is no reason why y'all are just not coming out with a part 3 for this movie. What are you doing? Who is your audience? Who is your audience at this point? This is what I'm saying. It's not like it's different if you're talking about like Ninja Turtles, right? Ninja Turtles came out when I was a little kid. It was a great movie, great cartoon. You had comic books. It was cool. And the cool thing about that is the fact that even while the movies and cartoons came out, you still had new cartoons, new movies. They were keeping the franchise alive, whether it was successful or not. It was staying relevant for different generations, right? I ain't seen not one Gizmo, Gremlins, anything for 30 years, maybe even longer than that. Who are you? The only people you are appealing to are going to be 45 years old and up. That is extremely limiting for an audience to sit here and try and capture with the movie. Because I'm just saying, like, I don't know what little kids are going to be like, ooh, mommy, daddy, take me to the Gremlins 3 movie. They're not. Oh, man, I don't get this Hollywood strategy. I don't get it. It'd be different if y'all had cartoons, if y'all had a TV show, if y'all had something to get more than just the 40 and up club. You know, now will I be interested? Maybe. It depends on the trailer. But at the same time, like, I don't even know what the hell the story would be at this point. Like, what are we doing with this? Anyway. Okay, I did not do this on purpose, but it really does feel like a recurring theme. In case y'all have ever seen the movie The Thing. The Thing is one of those classic horror movies. Guess what? They still working on it because John Carpenter was asked if The Thing 2 will ever happen. He said, yes, we're working on it right now. We'll see. That's another movie. Classic horror film. But my God, like, y'all just keep wanting to go with the old and not try. I mean, y'all couldn't have tried something new, slightly, just anything, a little different, Oh man, I don't know what we're gonna do with this, and maybe this is even more of a blast from the past. But get ready, because a Miss Piggy movie is in the works. Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone will produce the film with Cole Escola writing the script. My only question is why? Why? Like, I don't know about y'all. I did not grow up with the Muppets. The Muppets to me were kind of boring. I'm not saying they were bad. I'm just saying I did not care about the Muppets like that. I mean, Kermit was cool, I guess. I used to watch the little cartoon, the Muppet Babies cartoon, but even that, like, I know I outgrew that really fast. Why do we need a Miss Piggy movie? A movie? Like, y'all want people to pay money to come see this? Once again, this just feels like y'all are reaching for the 40 and up club. Now, you know what? Listen. I was talking to a friend of mine and he was asking me, he was like, man, why does Hollywood keep doing this stuff? Like, why do they keep finding these things from the 80s, from the 90s, and making these reboots and stuff like that? And this is my theory. This is my theory as to why Hollywood can't come up with brand new ideas. I think you have to look at how the actual structure is in Hollywood. Think about this. The actual filmmakers, the people that are making movies, they are more than likely 40 to 50 years old, right? The ones that are like active like that, right? And these people probably grew up with these shows. They grew up watching Gremlins. They grew up watching The Karate Kid. They grew up watching, all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever. They were probably things that defined their childhood or whatever. But while they have these ideas to do something with these old properties, you got to think about who in Hollywood is green lighting a lot of these things. It's not a bunch of 40, 50-year-olds. It's a bunch of 60, 70-year-olds. It's a bunch of old white men who probably ain't never seen these things, right? So what happens? I think what ends up happening is these older white executives only green light things that remotely make sense to them, right? Because you can come in as a filmmaker and be like, man, I got this hot, brand new, fresh idea. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And them executives are like, what? Is this magic? What? What kind of sci-fi is this? Is this what? AI? I don't understand this. I don't know. I don't get this. No money for you. So I think that's kind of what's happening. I think that the reason why we get extremely old stuff is because you have extremely old people that are greenlighting things, and they might be a little too afraid to try a lot. I don't want to say everything, but they don't want to try too many new things. And that's why we get stuff like a Miss Piggy movie, because why? Why else? I'm just saying, seriously. And y'all tell me this. Who under the age of 30 have you seen talking about Miss Piggy in any context that wasn't a roast? The only time I've ever heard Miss Piggy from anybody under 30 is when they're making fun of somebody else's appearance. Outside of that, I ain't never heard nobody in their youth sitting here and say, man, I wish we had a Miss Piggy movie. Man, I wish we had a Muppets movie. Man, I wish there was a Muppets TV show. I've never heard this on the internet, in the article. None of that. I don't get it. I don't get it. If somebody else gets it, feel free to let me know, though. Okay, maybe we can get some good news here. Godzilla -1. Fantastic movie. So good. Oh my God. Man, if you got the chance to see Godzilla -1 in theaters and IMAX, you are a lucky dog. Okay. Now we know that there's a sequel coming out. Now I've been saying the sequel needs to be Godzilla -2. That should be it. That's it. But they did not agree with that. Instead, they went with a different one, and we got the new title for Godzilla -1, and that is Godzilla -0. And it's coming out in late 2026. Now, listen, I know I just went on a whole thing about old stuff being remade, but you know what? Godzilla is not the same, because we've had multiple Godzilla movies throughout, the years, throughout the decades, and whether they were good or not, you still kept Godzilla fresh. It was still in the memory banks, and once in a blue moon, some of them movies would actually hit. And this was one of those that actually hit. And they brought it back to the old school version, right? So listen, I'm okay with this. I doubted it when it first came out. I'm so happy. I got dragged to the theater to go see it. It was one of the best surprises I had. Loved it. Godzilla -0 coming to theaters. I'm with it. All right. What else? We got something for the horror fans out there. Do y'all remember the movie Talk to Me? I enjoyed Talk to Me. I thought that was really good. Remember, that was the one, if you touch the hand, then the hand possessed you, and then crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, right? And if you recall watching the film, there definitely felt like they left a lot of meat on the bone where like there was more stuff to explore. They could do a sequel, maybe even a prequel, like, yo, where did this hand come from? But it looks like we're getting a sequel, right? We're getting more, not really a sequel, I shouldn't say that, but a spin-off series is coming to Talk to Me, but there's a catch. I don't know why there's got to be a catch, but there's a catch. It says here, a Talk to Me spin-off series is in the works, but it's for Meta VR headsets. It says the series follows a young group of travelers chasing the ultimate party on a European island until they discover the hand. Now, my question here is a profound one, but a familiar one. Why? Why are you making this only for Meta VR headsets? Like, talk about, and I mean, shout out to the brothers that directed this. I know that they're YouTubers and they made their movie, and they made 2 movies, really good too stuff, right? They also did Bring Her Back, in case you haven't seen that. But to make a spin-off series and only give it to Meta, I mean, just tell me you don't want nobody to see this. I'm just I don't see why you wouldn't be like, hey, Amazon, hey, Apple TV, hey, what, sell that to somebody else. I would actually watch that series. I would absolutely go watch that series. Now, to their credit, and we don't know how much they sold it for. Maybe they got the bag, right? Because Meta, they got money, right? That Facebook got money. But from what I understand, this is created in a 3D type of way. So I could understand the 3D element coming in as a factor and making that a unique viewing experience. I get that. So what I would just say is this. I would just say, like, listen, you got to come up with some sort of hybrid strategy, right? Say, hey, we're dropping this spin-off series and it's exclusively going to be on Meta Universe or whatever for the first 3 weeks, right? Put it on there for the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, let the hype drive up, fine. But then I need you to release that on streaming. Let other people, because I mean, I like Talk to Me. I would love to see more of it. I'm not going to buy no Meta headset VR thing to go watch it. Like, that's not going to make me want to go, watch the show. But anyway, y'all let me know. How many of y'all even have one of those Meta VR headsets? I don't know a lot of people that have one. So to me, it's not like, oh, you got an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever. Like, I don't know a lot of people that have it. So I don't know how many people are you actually reaching with this. And on top of that, not to mention, it's horror, right? You already have a niche of a niche where not a lot of people got the VR headsets. And even if they do, who's to tell you that they're going to want to watch a horror on their face, a 3D horror? Are you crazy? With all them scary things? Man, please. So I don't know how lucrative of a deal this is, but anyway, I feel like that's kind of a waste. What else we got? Now you guys have already seen, I think, my little review, my little ones, for K-pop Demon Hunters. I've told you, thought the movie was fantastic. The songs are Incredible, super memorable, especially when you have your 8-year-old singing them every day, nonstop. Um, we talked about how Netflix was putting K-pop Demon Hunters back in theaters again, which they did before. I think they just did it for Halloween, like last week or so. But the real question is like, yo, what's up with that sequel? Right? What's up with the sequel? Well, we got some news on that. And it says here K-pop Demon Hunters is aiming to release in 2029 on Netflix. 2029? That's like 3-4 years from now. Like, my 8-year-old's gonna be in middle school by then. My 11-year-old's probably gonna be starting high school by then. Like, golly. I mean, listen, I understand animation takes a long time. I totally get that. We see that with Invincible, we see that with Into the Spider-Verse and stuff, but it's like, yo, when you see this level of success, when you see how much of a cash money grab this can be, and I'm not an expert in the animation process, so I don't know. I'm just guessing. But to me, I'm like, if I'm Netflix, throw the bag. Hire 2 companies to do the animation. All speed ahead. Whatever you could do to ride this wave and cut that down. I'm not saying cut corners. Okay, that's what Marvel was accused of doing when they would rush them visuals. I'm not saying that. I'm saying do what you gotta do, spend what you gotta spend, because that right there is going to have all the little kids. It's going to have all the attention. You have the momentum right now. They just submitted one of their songs, Golden, I think, for like a Grammy. Imagine if this thing won a Grammy. Imagine if this thing won some Oscar awards or something, best animation. Ain't no way people going, with our short attention span, with the way technology is progressing as quickly as it is with AI or whatever, I don't know if you're going to have that same juice in 4 years. That's a long time to ask people to wait. So I don't know. Netflix, Sony, whoever's in charge, like y'all struck gold with this. They didn't think they would, but you struck gold with this. Y'all need to hurry up. Like it's not even, that should be your top priority. Next up, man, just going back to the well. Jurassic World Rebirth, the sequel, is reportedly in the works with Gareth Edwards in talks to direct. Scarlett, Mahershala, and Jonathan Bailey are expected to return. I don't care not one bit about this. I mean, I saw the last movie, the Rebirth. The Jurassic Park movies, in my opinion, are the quality is going downhill. Now, for whatever reason, people still are showing up and paying money. I don't know why. Because honestly, watching Jurassic World Rebirth, it felt like they copied every single Jurassic Park movie and was just like, here you go. And they just slapped a new title on there. That's what it felt like. Like nothing, even the dinosaurs that were supposed to actually feel new because they were like mixing them up and splicing DNA. Like, what is this? First of all, this looks like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles snapping turtle from what was that? Secret of the Ooze. Like, that's what is this? Like, I don't know. If y'all like it, okay, I guess, but yeah, and the family was stupid. The whole family was stupid. Let's just go out in the water where there's big old dinosaurs, and it's fine. Nothing bad can happen with big old dinosaurs in the middle of the ocean by ourselves. Like, y'all were dumb. Like, the writing was dumb. But hey, listen, if you just want to go watch something and not think, sure, have fun. You just want to see dinosaurs dino. I guess. Okay. What else? We got a lot of quick updates. American Psycho apparently will not be gender swapped despite rumors. Why would that even be who was thinking about this? Who was thinking about swapping out American Psycho and making it a woman? Like whoever was in that board meeting that was like, "Excuse me, sir, I've got an idea. What if we made him a woman instead?" I would have hoped they would have been like, "Hey, you right there. You see that door? Hit it. Hit the door right now. Johnson, you're out of here. Get out." I mean, I'm just saying. I think what made American Psycho so good. Now, I haven't read the book or anything like that, but I think what made it so good was the fact that the character was supposed to look like somebody you would never expect and give the benefit of the doubt to. Now, I'm not saying that wouldn't work for a woman because you wouldn't really expect a woman to be a mass serial killer like that. However, I think what makes things scary is when they mimic real life, right? When they mimic real life, that's when it's kind of like, ooh, that kind of messes with your head a little bit, right? And there's nothing more realistic in this case than having a straight white man going on a killing spree. I mean, not being racist, not being sexist, that's just the stats. When you think about mass shooter, when you think about serial killer, they tend to be white males. Listen, don't believe me. I didn't tell you this. Y'all heard this even when y'all were young.
These white men are dangerous.
Okay? That's not, you know? So I'm just saying it wouldn't have made sense. And I think it would have been less believable had you gone around and made him a female. I don't think you would have had the same type of audience. I don't think you would have had the same level of believability. I don't think people would have had the same level of danger. Like, so anyway, I think that's a good decision to not gender swap the character and to keep it the way it is. Keep it the way it is. It ain't broke. And it certainly has not changed. It's not broke and it hasn't changed. All right, let's go. What else do we have? Oh, we got a little Batman news, little DC news. The Batman Part 2 that is going to be set a few weeks after the original ending of the Penguin. So anybody trying to think about like what Batman 2 is going to do, it's going to take place only a couple of weeks after. My only thing is like, how long, if this is going to take place a few weeks, how long is Robert Pattinson going to be able to play a 24, 27-year-old Batman? Because remember, he's young. He's supposed to be a young Bruce Wayne, only a year or two into the game. How old is Robert Pattinson? Robert Pattinson is 39 years old. He's 39. Now listen, I'm not going to make no type of cultural jokes or nothing like that. But even if they was black, 39, 40-year-old, it's going to be real hard to play off a 24, 27-year-old. That's a stretch. Usually in Hollywood, you have like 10 years maximum that you could play around with your age. If you're 50, you could kind of play 40. If you're 40, you could kind of play 30. Bro, you about to be 40. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. By the time y'all even start shooting, by the time the levels of stress, the levels of just the sun, just the rotations of the earth, bro, you not gonna look the same. They're gonna have to cake your face up with makeup. Something. Anyway, few weeks. Now, if they said, okay, Batman 2 takes place a couple years, okay, now that's a little different. But whew, good luck. Good luck. Let's move on. We got Glenn Powell. I like Glenn Powell. You know, he's doing the Running Man right now. He was in Twisters. Glenn Powell is on a roll right now, especially in Hollywood. He's getting like every other role. He's about to be in Chad Powers, do a TV show. So he is out there making bank, doing his thing. And I already told y'all, once you get the little Hollywood square jaw, you good. Okay, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. I remember I had a chance. It was accidentally. I was going to the Ant-Man premiere and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. Yeah, it was the Quantumania one. And while I was standing in line, Glenn Powell was like right there. Now, he wasn't as big at that time, but I was kind of like, hey, Glenn Powell, how's it going? He super good, super cool, super nice. I told him he should play Booster Gold. Really nice guy, right? Really, really nice guy. Was willing to take a picture, all of that. But he said something here that I caught my attention. And he was sitting here saying, he explains why it's important for him to do practical stunts in his films. He says, I believe you have to give the audience their value in the ticket. If people are actively going to the theater, getting a babysitter, doing dinner, you've got to justify that ticket price. See, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I love it when an actor does not forget why you're here. You're here because of us. You're here because we the ones that pay that kind of money, that pays your salary, that gives you the lifestyle. The least you can do is to do your own stunts or just to take the whole thing seriously where you're trying to make sure you give it back to us. I appreciate that. See, we give celebrities crap all the time. I want to make sure that we give them the praise and the credit when it's due. I respect that. I respect that. I respect any if you are a rich person, just period. If you are rich, I always respect when you realize how you got there and who got you there. And it's usually us. It's usually us non-rich peoples. Okay. I don't have a problem with capitalism. I have a problem with greedy capitalism. But like, listen, if you're going to make your money, that's cool. Just never forget where you came from and never forget why. And that sounds like he has not forgotten. So much respect. Much respect. Let's see. Oh, this is from one of my favorite creators out here, Vince Gilligan. This is the same dude that gave us Breaking Bad. And you know, I guess he's always been asked about, like, you know, are you gonna do more Breaking Bad? And first of all, Breaking Bad, in my opinion, is one of those top 5 greatest TV shows of all time. Top 5. Can't say it's the best. You still got The Wire, still got Game of Thrones, but it's up there. It's up there. But Vince has you know, he has a great track record too. He's also done Better Call Saul, and that's solid too. But he said this here. It says he isn't sure another TV series in the Breaking Bad universe will happen. He says, I'd rather disappoint folks by not giving them any more Breaking Bad than have them say, oh man, that was a really great multi-course meal, but that last serving in the dessert bowl was dog poo. Now I've got a bad taste in my mouth. I respect that. This I also respect from creators. Don't force it. Don't force it. If you don't have a genuine story that really works, great. You did Better Call Saul. That was in the same universe. And guess what? It worked, right? It worked. It did its job. Everybody enjoys it from what I hear. But yeah, you know, it's so easy when we see franchises be desperate and do all these spin-offs, and the spin-offs don't work, but hey, it's money. Walking Dead, you know? And it's kind of like, yo, it's okay to just stop, because when you stop, you allow that thing to grow in its legacy. You let it grow in its popularity, and guess what? People will go back, they'll go rewatch it, and like it is perfectly fine to not have to force that franchise or spinoff or whatever. So much respect to him for that as well. I really like that. Oh, for my gamers out there, we got a new movie coming out. And this is coming from, it looks like, for some heavy hitters. Taylor Sheridan and Peter Berg are developing a live action Call of Duty movie. Now, if you recall, Sheridan is the guy that gave you Sicario, right? And he's giving you Yellowstone and all those TV series as well. And Peter Berg gave you Deepwater Horizon. I think he also gave you what was that, Survivor or something like that. Like, listen, these dudes know how to write and shoot war movies. Just that alone, I'm sold. I've played Call of Duty maybe once or twice. I'm not a first person shooter kind of player. I don't really, that's not my thing. But if there was ever somebody to be top of the list, Taylor Sheridan and Peter Berg, that's a dynamite combo right there. This movie's about to not only be entertaining, but I guarantee that this is going to get some award nominations. I think it's going to be, you cannot have that level of quality. This is literally what these guys do. This is what they do. I'm with this. I'm looking forward to this now. You have the Call of Duty brand, so that's going to grab the young folks that are still playing it. You got the people that like the Sheridan stuff. You got the people that like Sicario and the war movies. This has got a nice recipe to have a lot of potential to work. I'm with that. I am with that. So y'all let me know how you feel about a Call of Duty movie coming out. Oh man, little heartbreak maybe. Now this I don't know, but Star Trek 4 no longer happening. Yep, Paramount is moving on from the cast that was led by Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, and Zoe Saldana. So that's done with. It's not happening. Now, I mean, I know there are Trekkies out there, and that's cool. I feel bad for y'all because that first Star Trek movie with Chris Pine, fire. Loved it. It actually made me care about Star Trek. I never grew up on Star Trek. I used to watch Next Generation here or there, but I wasn't like a dedicated watcher. But man, that first movie was great. And then them other movies went downhill. They went bad at warp speed. That the con fail. And whatever that third movie with the zebra looking girl, no good. I mean, it was all right, but it was just like y'all just could not catch up to the first movie ever since then. So I understand. Why they don't do it. Don't do it. Now I do think that because Star Trek has a TV show, because it has been going on for a while, you could reboot this. You could, find a different actor, find a different angle. I think that there's potential there. But yeah, this one didn't this one ran its course. Not too hot. So sorry out there to all y'all Trekkies out there. But this was not it. A little trailer news. So the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday will be released in December with Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, I don't know how to feel about this because last I checked, first of all, I'm going to watch, Avatar Fire and Ash. That's a given, right? But I don't believe that Disney/Marvel would have the guts to drop the Avengers trailer for the Avatar movie only. I don't think they'll do that. Not with the way social media is. Now, this would be a bold move if they did it. It would be super bold if they sat here and said, hey, you know what? Y'all want to see this Avengers trailer? Go watch James Cameron's movie. This would be a great way to feed and support your own other properties by giving that little extra boost. Because maybe for the people that were sitting on the fence of watching Avatar, they might be like, man, but I do want to see Avengers. That could be nice. But I cannot imagine that they would sit here and play that trailer only in that movie and not try to put that thing simultaneously on all social media platforms, especially YouTube, and collect that money too. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I got a feeling that they're gonna sit there and drop it online. Because if you drop it online, who cares if you put it in the Avatar movie? Who cares? So if you're gonna make this exclusive, you better make it all the way exclusive, because otherwise, I don't see this being a factor. But this if they play it right, this could work. This could work. What else? We got two more things, and then I'll get y'all comments. Oh, got him. New movie. So Here Comes the Flood. I was going to say, Here Comes the Boom. Here Comes the Flood has begun filming. This is going to star Denzel Washington, Robert Pattinson, Daisy Edgar Jones, Denai Guerrera, and Sam Harris, and Moise Ariz. And it's described as a heist thriller about a bank guard, a teller, and a master thief. And this is coming to Netflix. Now, here's my only thing. Y'all know, love the OG Denzel. I believe he's an OG, right? Like he's not an unk status anymore. He's about an OG now, right? My only question is this: wasn't Denzel supposed to retire? Didn't we hear Denzel say, "I'm going to retire, and I only got 5 movies left"? And that's when he said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a Ryan Coogler Black Panther 3." So that was 4 movies after that. And then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna do Othello. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this." Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, my man is already he just did Highest to Lowest with Spike Lee. Now he's doing this. This was not on his list. He still got to go do them other things. Sir, just say you're gonna keep working. What? Retire what? And I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm just saying, like, sir, look, with all due respect, I don't even know why you mentioned this. I don't even know why you said this, because it's like it seems like you're not done working. And I'm not complaining. I'm okay. I want Denzel to keep doing his thing until he can't do it or don't want to do it no more. I am super okay with this. But at the same time, it's like, sir, don't tell people you about to retire and you not gonna retire at all. Like, just don't send us off. We don't need this. Okay. But this does sound cool. Look, first of all, I'm with it. You had me at Denzel first. That fine. But then you said, what was this? A heist thriller? I love heist movies. I feel like heist movies are the easiest things to be exciting, to be fun, to have some drama and tension. I'm cool with that. A master thief, let's go. Let's see what they're gonna do with that. So I'm cool with it. I just, just the whole Denzel retiring thing, like, but you're not. Anyway, where's Natalie? Is Natalie still here? Natalie, are you watching? Where you at? Because this, I know you're gonna want this news. I know you're gonna want this. Y'all boy with y'all movie. Disney is submitting Captain America: Brave New World for consideration in all categories during award season, including Anthony Mackie for Best Actor. Best Supporting Actor, Harrison Ford, Danny Ramirez, Carl Lumbly, blah, 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 blah. Like, if this was Thunderbolts, I could see that. Thunderbolts actually had really good acting in that. Didn't this movie almost flop? Now, keep in mind, making money does not mean, oh, it was profit. I'm talking about like, y'all didn't make as much money as you were hoping. That's a flop for Hollywood. Not one time did I hear people talk about the acting. And I'm not saying the acting was bad. I thought the acting was okay. I thought it was fine. But award consideration? This almost feels like this was like in the contract or something. It feels like, hey, we'll submit it. Now, whether it gets considered or not, but you can't say we didn't try. I'm just, like, what movie did y'all see? What movie did y'all see? Because I don't, maybe the VFX? Like, if you want to submit that, I get. In no world could I see, for this movie, Anthony Mackie being in contention for Best Actor. No way. Just, I don't see how. I don't know. Y'all voting for this? Y'all vote like supporting actors. I could kind of see that. Okay, Harrison Ford, maybe. Danny Ramirez, I like him, but I don't know if he had enough. Giancarlo, wasted. Sidewinder, are y'all serious? Like, come on, man. Y'all had Giancarlo right there, and y'all just wasted him in some character role that is going to be forgotten. Ain't nobody gonna remember Sidewinder for nothing. What? Anyway, y'all let me know what you think about all those fun little topics in the comments down below. All right, let me get all these comments here. ILL. What if there was a reboot to Escape New York called Escape Chicago? I would watch it. Especially, here's the thing. I wonder, because remember, that was Kurt Russell that did them, and I loved it. I loved Escape to New York. I loved Escape to LA. Those were great little movies. I had fun with it. Snake Pills, man, Snake was dope. Snake was dope back then. I'll never forget when he had to make that half-court shot or live or die and stuff like that. That was great tension for the time. Now the question is, do you bring back Snake? And I think you should. And do you bring his son into play? Now keep in mind, his son is Wyatt Russell, who played Captain Not America, right? Do you bring him in? And I mean, listen, if Kurt is still around, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you got something there. I would love to see that. I think that would actually be decent. I'd be cool with that. And then to do a Chicago, first of all, if you're gonna have an Escape to Chicago, all you have to do is you don't even have to like make it a dystopian thing or future apocalyptic. Just put him on the West Side. Okay, you put him on the West Side and have him escape. That's the movie right there. No special effects needed. Just put him out there. No car, no money. Have him escape the west side of Chicago. Listen, people from Chicago know what I'm talking about. Okay, those of y'all that don't live out here, y'all don't know. Just understand. Just trust me on this. Trust me on this. Put him on the west side and see if he can escape. You ain't gonna have a part 2. I'll tell you that. Ain't gonna be no part 2. Let's see. Why not stop hating on my man? I don't know who you talking about. I don't hate on nobody. I don't hate on nobody. Let's see. I can see Cardi B playing a live supporting role with Miss Piggy. What? Where did that come from? You know what? Actually, I could see that. She's silly enough that I could see her playing that. You know what? I can see that too. Thank you so much. Shogun, I wonder if 2029 is the only worldwide release for K-pop. In the past, anime released in Japan multiple years before it was released over here. Same here. Maybe. I'm assuming that it's just the animation process that's just going to take a while. I'm assuming that's the reason for the long gap or the delay. But we'll have to wait and see if there's any other news about it. But it's still a long time. And here's the thing: even if there was a Japanese version, I feel as though Netflix could still just drop it on on their platform and just put the subtitles, or because doing a voiceover is not going to take that long to do that. So I don't know. Let's see. Anthony, thank you so much. They keep making Jurassic Park movies because peeps watch. I bet this comes out before Blade. Ali got to get a franchise somehow. Yeah. Sad to say, but yeah. Y'all keep paying for these movies. Y'all keep paying for them. I don't support these because the original Jurassic Park movies were as good as it gets to me. And yeah, listen, as long as Ali is working, I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her to keep getting that check because clearly it's not going to come from Blade. Clearly. Mila Kunis was in American Psycho sequel. It was booty trash. It had to have been trash because I didn't even know that existed. Are you serious? That was a movie? Hold on. Are you serious? When did this come out? This did come out. Get Out of Town, Charlie Brown. Are you for real? Get out. I never knew. 2002? Did this go straight to DVD? What? Okay. Yeah. Oh, William Shatner. What? Wow. Well, wow. Okay. All right. I'm not even curious. Hold on. Actually, I am curious. How much? What was that rated? How bad was it? Guys, I have told y'all before, when it comes to certain rating scales, every website is like a little different. IMDb specifically, if you are a great, a top of the line movie, you'll get like an 8, maybe, or 9, right? 8 or 9 is like phenomenal movie. Really good movies will get like a 7. A decent average movie will get like a 6. A bad movie will usually get something like a 5. Okay, it'll get like a 5. This movie got a 3. Hold on. Let me fix it. This movie got a 3.7. A 3.7. That's like a F triple minus. Like, damn. That's bad. Oh my God. Yeah, man. I don't know about the booty trash. That sounds like gutter booty trash. Like that. That's another level. That's another level of bad. Man, I did not know they made another one. That's crazy. Let's see. Thank you so much, Anthony. What you got? Robert Pattinson's older than Bale during The Dark Knight Rises. So much for a younger Batman. Bet that movie also comes out before Blade. I'm pretty sure a whole lot will come out before Blade. Let's be honest at that. Let's see. 60 plus. Glenn Powell was super funny in Scream Queen season 1. I believe it. He's a really talented actor though. Like I like him. He can do comedy. He can do drama. He's kind of he's a well-rounded actor. I think he's pretty good. Let's see. Anthony, what you got? They released the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 7 exclusively in movies and then released it on the web, I think, the next day. Yeah, see, even if you do the next day, like I don't think with the way people interact with movies and go to movies now, you're not going to get that rush. The way you would have to play it is you would actually have to put Avengers trailer ahead of Avatar for like 2 to 3 weeks. I think if you put it 2 to 3 weeks, that would at least get people time to go to the theaters to watch the movie, and maybe I don't think it'll be like crazy, but that could be the push people need. But if you're only going to delay it like a day or two before you drop the trailer on the internet, yeah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Tyra, Denzel meant retire like Jay-Z retired. Right. Well, to be fair, I mean Jay-Z ain't dropped no albums. He feel like he is kind of retired. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Anthony, stop hating on Clarence and his black job. Hey, I ain't hating. I'm just saying I don't think that deserves that push. I'm not mad at Disney. Do what you got to do. That's your property. The best thing you could do is get lucky. And some people out there actually believe Anthony Mackie deserves the nomination for Best Actor. And you know what? If Anthony Mackie wins the Best Actor for Captain America, y'all will never hear me say a negative word about this man or his career ever again. Ever. Like I will take that oath. I will be done with it. I won't criticize this man because he would be an Oscar winner. I said it. If he wins Best Actor, I will go live that night. Okay? I will go live that night during the Oscars. We will live stream it together, and I will publicly apologize for anything I've ever said. Hi, this is Chris from I don't know how long, Mike's son. Hi, Chris. I know a lot of Mikes. Like, I'm not sure which one. Like, Mike, okay. Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. I don't know which mic you refer to though. I'm sorry. I know a lot of mics. I don't know if it's the mic from here. Is it our mic? Or is it like Mike? You got a son? Mike, where you at? You got a son? Do you know about this son? Hey man, I don't want to get I don't want to get nobody in trouble. If this is the time you finding out you got a son, this is hella awkward. You know what? Let's move on. Okay, I do not want to go into that. Let's see. Anthony, episode 7 was supposed to be exclusive, but they kept leaking. Oh, see, I can see that. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay. All right, bro. I was about to get okay. That's your son. Chris, what is going on? Good to see you. Thank you, Mike, for verifying. Sir, it was gonna be awkward. I was like, don't y'all have me being out here being Mari now. Okay, don't do that to me. Thank you. Good to see you, Chris. Welcome. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Oh man, that was about to be hella weird. All right, let's move on. What do we have? Oh, we do have something else. We have got. Oh yeah, we got the. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all help for this one. Y'all have to help me with this. Now we have talked about different things that Hollywood would like to reboot and rehash and bring back and stuff like that. This one, I don't know. I can't speak on this. Not very well. But apparently, Buck Rogers is getting a movie. I It says here Deadpool and Wolverine writer Zeb Wells has been tapped to write the latest draft of swashbuckling sci-fi hero Buck Rogers for Legendary. The project is based on the Armageddon 2419 AD novel. Buck Rogers was a character in 1928. The story centers on a coal mine inspector who awakens from suspended animation after 500 years to find himself in the middle of a planetary war. Did they say 1928? Why is this a thing? Why who like Buck Rogers? I mean, first of all, just the whole image right here gives me the vibes that this ain't for me. This ain't for my generation. This ain't for nobody under the age of 84. Can't. Remember when I was telling y'all my theory about how things get approved in Hollywood? I feel like this is it. I feel like some of them old executives sat back and was like, Buck Rogers, oh yeah, let's go ahead with that. Automatic green light. Oh yeah, I remember the Buck Rogers lunch pail when I used to walk 15 miles to school. What? No. No. Like, who is this for? Now, oh, okay. All right. Apparently, okay, let me see. Because I'm not familiar with Buck Rogers like that. Apparently, this was like a very famous comic strip or something. It says the comic strip became so popular in 1939. 1939. I need y'all to understand. We in World War II around this time. Is it one or two? What? We're in a world war at this time. We're in a world war. Hitler was fresh in them Germany streets while this was out. Anyway, this led to a wildly successful 12-part serial starring Buster Crab. First of all, if anything was starring a person named Buster, you know it's old. I don't know no white people named Buster at all, alive or dead. It says between the strips, serial, and later comic books, Buck Rogers became known to every American as Tarzan and Mickey Mouse. Which American? Which American are you talking about? Like, are you? These had to have been the ones that was busting open the Cracker Jack boxes. And shut up, Kristen. Are you serious? Your granddaddy was Buster? Are you serious? Buster Marv? Shut up. Shut up. For oh my God. Are you serious? All right. I stand corrected. I know a Buster now. Second, third degree, 15th degree. That's wild. That is wild. Oh, okay. I don't. Is your grandfather still around or with us? I don't know. I'm just Who knows Buck Rogers? Oh, he passed away. Okay. My condolences. Just y'all be just greenlighting anything. Yeah, and the crazy thing is Zeb Wells is actually a good writer. Like he just wrote Deadpool and Wolverine. He's an actual comic book writer. And I get it. This was based off of the comics. And you know what? Okay. Let me maybe put a positive spin on this. You got a good comic book writer who actually just wrote a successful Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And you know what? One of the very first comic book heroes was Zorro. You right? You know, Zorro, with the Z and the sword and all that stuff. And Zorro came around, I think, in the 1920s, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So maybe if you update this a whole lot, because if you're talking about like Buck Rogers is still a coal miner or whatever, that ain't gonna work. Listen, make him a plumber, right? Make him like an average Joe kind of guy. Maybe that can work. But if you put him in like some advanced society and maybe there's some hope there. Duck Rogers. I do remember Duck Rogers. Wasn't that Darkwing Duck that did that or something like that? I never knew where it came from. But yeah, this is old. This is old. But anyway, y'all let me know. Are you interested in a Buck Rogers movie? Is it good enough that it has the Deadpool and Wolverine writer, a renowned, comic book writer? Maybe that helps. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, that was Daffy Duck. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought that was Darkwing. All right. Let's see. Puma, what's this? Bring Brian Lumley's Necroscope to the big screen. I don't know what that is, but okay. If it's good, sure, why not? Let's see. Shogun, I worry about Buck Rogers. Deadpool and Wolverine did great, but only because Deadpool and Wolverine, not the story. Story was well, you're not wrong. Like you're not wrong, right? Like we'll see. I mean, I think Zeb Wells has done good comics. I don't remember. I think he wrote some Spider-Man storylines. I have to check with my comic reference nerds about that, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's move on. Next up, what do we have? You know what? I definitely want to talk about this. Josh Hartnett. Listen, Josh Hartnett has been around for a minute. And I have to say, I have been a fan of Josh for a long time. Like his early movies were really entertaining. Especially, just as an actor back in the past. Like I remember him. He was in The Faculty. Do y'all remember The Faculty with Usher? He was in that. Was he in one of the Scream movies? I forget if he was in the Scream movie or not. But Josh Hartnett, he has a nice list. He was in Lucky Number 11, Black Hawk Down, 30 Days of Night. I like that. The vampire movie, I thought that was really good. I thought that was really, really good. And then he was more recently, he was in Trap, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. I thought he was fantastic in that. He was in Oppenheimer. He just did a Black Mirror episode, which was really good. That Black Mirror episode, have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen his Black Mirror episode? Wow. That was one of the better episodes I've seen there. But the thing is that, like, I know he took a break for a while and then he kind of came back, but like my man has been killing it lately. And I just saw here that he has a new movie coming out, and I wanted to share that with you guys and talk about it. It says here that Josh Hartnett will star and produce the action thriller All Day, All Night. And this is what it's about. It says here, when his daughter gets into Harvard, reformed bank robber Billy Davies returns to a life of crime to come up with the tuition money. But when the bank heist goes horribly wrong, which it always does, he and his crew accidentally stumble onto the set of a failing reality TV show. Now, Billy must stay on air long enough to figure out an escape plan from the cops trying to arrest him and the mob trying to kill him, while the producers of the show must keep the show on air long enough to boost their ratings and evade cancellation. Listen, I absolutely need a trailer, but this sounds interesting. This sounds like it's got suspense. It sounds like it might have a comedic element to it. I already told y'all, if you have a bank heist movie, that in itself is already cool. Wait, what did they say? They said it's an action thriller. So that it might not be a comedy, but you know what? I'm in. Josh Hartnett so far has not failed me. This man does different types of movies. This man acts his butt off very well in these films. I'm in. At least from this premise. Now, of course, the trailer might say something different, but I like this. I'm cool with it. Like these different dynamics of everybody trying to do this. And not to mention, listen, I'm a sucker for a dad that's willing to go all out for his kids. Okay. I'm a sucker for it. So I think that this has got to be something solid. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about Josh Hartnett's new movie? Does it sound interesting? Does it sound like something you'll pass on? Maybe it's streaming, maybe it's theaters. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's do another movie. Keanu. Now y'all already know Keanu Reeves, one of the classics, one of the greats. My man Constantine, my man Neo. Like, listen, Keanu could make some good movies, right? So it looks like here that Keanu is actually going to be teaming up with Tim Miller. Tim Miller was the director of the first Deadpool movie, and it says here that he is going to be doing a movie called Shiver, right? So it says here that Ian Shore wrote the script for Shiver, which has been described as having shades of Edge of Tomorrow. Okay, I liked Edge of Tomorrow. And it also something like The Shallows. Now I don't know if y'all ever saw The Shallows. I actually saw this. It was basically about this girl who was stuck on a lake with a shark, and she had to survive. So I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Little streaming movie. Anyway, the premise for this is a smuggler, Keanu Reeves. He's a smuggler who finds himself in the middle of a deadly double cross while on a job in the Caribbean Sea, resulting in him surrounded by bodies, hostile mercenaries, and thirsty sharks alike. He next finds himself a deathly time loop and scrambling to break the cycle. What? Okay. These are the kind of movies that I like. The reason why I like this movie is because now you're talking about, not only is this a crazy conundrum of like, hey, this group is after you, this is this, you're in this crazy situation, but you also messing with time. You're also messing with time. I like this. This is the level of originality that I like to see. Now, have we seen a Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow type of thing? Sure. That's not brand new. But you know what? The fact that you're putting that in a different element with different situations, I'm okay with that. Because my biggest question is, why the hell is time restarting? Why? How? That's always my big question, is like, why is it doing this? How is it doing it? How do you stop it? And Keanu, whenever he does sci-fi stuff, it's usually a banger of some sort. So I like this. I feel like this should be interesting. You won me on the concept. So you guys let me know, how do you feel about Keanu's new movie? Does this sound interesting to you? Do you think you need more? Maybe a trailer? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We have this other thing. Okay. Do y'all remember Roadhouse? Right? Amazon just came out with Roadhouse. We also saw this was with Jake Gyllenhaal. And he was fighting McGregor and all this stuff. And it was, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was okay. It had its little action, it had its little comedy or whatever. It was fine. It was a fine movie. But there was all this drama that was going on with this movie. And a lot of it had to do with like the director, and it had to do with Amazon. And it was like a real messy situation. Now we'll get into the situation, but this is a weird thing. So let's just kind of jump into this. So the director, Doug Liman, right? He has actually quietly acquired the rights to the sequel to Roadhouse. Now keep in mind, Roadhouse already was a rebooted movie from the original one from that starred the late Patrick Swayze, right? So he has acquired the sequel rights to the original one, not to the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. That one is different. He's saying, no, I got the rights to the sequel to the 1980 whatever movie, the 89 movie. Now, it says here, the filmmaker plans to make Roadhouse Dylan, the writer's sequel to the iconic 89 film that starred the late Patrick Swayze as the guy who, the tough Zen guy who comes to a crooked town and cleans it up one bar brawl at a time. Okay? All right. Now, here's where it gets a little messy. Amazon Studios, they already started production on Roadhouse 2 with Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, this is because Doug Liman washed his hands of it. Now, this is going to have Jake Gyllenhaal. It's going to have Dave Bautista. It's going to have Aldous Hodge. Like, it's got a decent cast. And, Amazon Prime Video streaming, this is going to go to the streaming site, I believe. Now, Liman directed the original, and that became one of their biggest movie debuts with a record-breaking 50 million worldwide viewers in the first 2 weeks on Prime Video. Okay, that sounds great, right? However, that was not part of the deal, because Lyman's deal included pay bumps for box office success. His compensation suffered because the crowd-pleasing film, it definitely would have had a nice opportunity in the theaters, but Amazon, they didn't do that. Amazon pulled the big old switcheroo. Instead of putting their Roadhouse movie in theaters, they put it straight to streaming. So that messed up Doug Liman's pockets. That messed up his pockets. So now you got this whole situation where Amazon is making a sequel, and the original director is also making a sequel, but to two different movies. Now, it says here that Liman, barring his frustration over making a deal that called for a full theatrical release, that's what he signed, and then unceremoniously being informed that Roadhouse would be a straight-to-streaming title. This after the film tested well. They tested well, and they knew that they had a potential hit with this being a sleeper. And they still said no. Now, I'm not going to go through the other twists in this, so I'll just kind of like rehash it for you. But basically, they're now in litigation. There's now a lawsuit going on, and let me just kind of explain it to you here. So what's going on with the whole Roadhouse situation, the original writer, has been trying to get the rights to the story back under part of like a copyright law that allows creators to reclaim their work after a certain number of years, right? He says that he successfully got the rights back to make the Roadhouse sequel. Because of that, Doug Liman, who just got screwed by Amazon, was like, I bet I'm gonna work with you and I'm gonna get the rights to make the sequel, and we're gonna connect the two the original movies. But Amazon, they own the recent Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. They're saying no, 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 no. We own the rights to the franchise and we own the rights to make sequels. So Amazon is already moving forward with their own Roadhouse 2, even though Doug Liman is trying to do a Roadhouse 2 as well. So you have like this whole legal fight, and basically it's like the original writer reclaimed his rights and he's working with Doug. Amazon is doing their own thing. And the reason why I think this matters is because both sides are trying to make their own Roadhouse sequel at the same time. And only one may be legally allowed to release their version. So we're kind of caught in this, in the middle of all this. So this could turn into a major copyright battle that decides whether we get a sequel that follows the original Patrick Swayze movie or the new one with Jake Gyllenhaal. Who knows? And now the lawyers are getting involved to figure this all out. So, this is I never thought we would actually see something like this happen, because usually we end up hearing about this stuff after movies are made. After they're made, we're like, wait a minute, there was supposed to be another one. Oh, it got buried. But hey, now we'll see. So whichever movie comes out, that's when you will know who won this legal battle. But y'all let me know, do you even care about Roadhouse? Did you like the original? Did you like the new one? Which one of these would you want to see a sequel of? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Next up, we got a little bit of DC news. So we know that there is going to be a Lanterns TV show. And with that is going to star Kyle Chandler as the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. But then we also know Aaron Pierre is going to play John Stewart. Now, I know we had a whole colorism conversation about this. Whatever, we're here now. He's the new John Stewart. Cool. But we haven't really had very many ideas about what this Lantern TV show is going to be about. James Gunn has said that they're going to be exploring a mystery. They're going to be, unraveling something that's probably part of a bigger issue going on in the DCU. But we actually have the showrunner, Chris Mundy, and he gave a little bit more insight about what we can expect with this Lanterns TV show. He says here, the series is as much of a buddy cop show as a superhero show. And like any good buddy cop show, Hal and John are opposing forces. Our show is in a lot of ways about replacement. When should someone step aside, and when is it time for the next person to take the reins? That push and pull between those two characters is really important. So much of the power that John Stewart has is by not taking the bait, understanding that you lose your power if you're yelling and screaming. That's what we're trying to convey. He knows he belongs, so he doesn't have to compensate. So I like that. Basically, John Stewart, it seems like Hal Jordan is the old guard. John Stewart is the new guard. And it seems like, they're going to have a tough time getting along in the beginning. But one way or another, John Stewart's about to be the new guy in town. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that, if you're going to hand over the reins, give it to him, let him be the new Green Lantern. That's cool. Now, for the comic fans, that's not the end of Hal Jordan if they go that route. Because Hal Jordan still, he's the OG. Well, he's not the original Green Lantern, but he's one of the most prominently known, Green Lanterns. So to have him kind of step aside potentially, I like that. The showrunner also said Aaron felt a responsibility, especially as a Black man playing this particular role, to make sure he really understood him and brought him to life. I like that too. I like that too because again, and I've talked about this in other videos. Jon Stewart was created specifically for Black representation. That the original creator even said, I wanted him to be a dark-skinned character because of the lack of diversity and stuff like that. So I like the fact that Aaron understands that. I like the fact that he's going to, and I trust him. I mean, after watching what was it, Rebel Ridge or whatever, like I know the dude can act, right? He can do the role. I have all the confidence in his performance and acting ability. I think he will be just fine. So it does sound like Lanterns is going to be a story not only with the mystery, not only having the buddy cop, but it sounds like Hal Jordan might be taking the side. He might be, time to retire, and we'll see. But anyway, you guys let me know, what do you think about this Lanterns update? Are you interested in Lanterns? Is this something that you're looking forward to or not? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Now let's actually finally get to this. We have talked about the Michael biopic for a while. We know that it has been delayed a couple times. There was talk about them having so much stuff. Remember, they also had to redo some of the movie because apparently somebody at the Jackson estate or whoever forgot that they were not allowed to talk about certain legal cases without permission from that other party. So they had to redo a whole bunch of the movie and reshoot a whole bunch of stuff. And very similar to that, they were talking about that they might split it up. Now Lionsgate has teased that the Michael Jackson biopic might be 2 movies. They say here, we're not ready to confirm plans, but the creative team is hard at work making sure we're in a position to deliver more Michael after the first film. I just know one thing, and I forget where I saw it, but it was hilarious. If you are going to split this movie up, right? Let's say, for example, they split this movie Michael into 2 parts. You got to call this movie Michael, and you got to call part 2 Jackson. Just do that. I feel like that would work. I feel like that would actually be creative. It would be interesting. And who's not going to know what those movies are? First of all, when you say Michael, it's not very many people you're going to think of. You're either going to think of not even Mike. If you just say Michael, you're either thinking of Jordan or Jackson. And when you say Jackson, Jackson is usually going to be associated with Michael Jackson. So I feel like that should be it. Part 1, Michael. Part 2, Jackson. That would be kind of cool if they do that. But we have the trailer. Let me load it up. Let me get it up here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay. So we got that. But y'all know we got to start this off, right? All right. So let's go ahead and check this out. Now, keep in mind, this is also starring Jafar Jackson. So it's Michael Jackson's nephew that is playing his uncle in this case. But let's go ahead and check this out. The whole time, I was sitting here thinking, like, listen, there are certain things, and I've talked about this before. There are certain things that you have to nail when you are being someone as iconically recognized as Michael Jackson. You got to have the look. The look in itself, yes, people can wear makeup, hair, and all that. You can get that. You got to have the look. Then, of course, you got to have the moves. Michael did not move like anybody else like that. Michael has such a distinct style and how he danced, how he moved, that people do it. You see somebody kick in the air and they like, that's Michael Jackson. But you also got to have the voice. The fact that he had turn it up. The fact that he had the voice, I already believe that. We got to play it again. I want to play this again. Because first of all, hell of a good trailer. Hell of a good trailer. You already, when you are watching these biopics, you are really just looking for the greatest hits and the greatest moments of these people's lives. Okay. So yes, the same guy that did Bohemian Rhapsody, they did a great job too. That was a great film too. So as long as you get them key moments, and what I'm thinking, if they are doing this as a two-parter, and I think they are, based off of this trailer, I think what we about to do, we about to get Black and White Michael. First movie is gonna be Black Mike. Second movie, which they should call Jackson, that's gonna be White Mike. I feel like that's what, because we ain't seen not one time. You saw him using the makeup a little bit. You ain't see one time this brother get lighter. He did not get lighter. So we know that has to be it. And I ain't see no court cases. I ain't see nothing happen. We about to have Black Mike. Then we're gonna have White Mike. I need to see this again. I need to see this. Look at this. For anybody that was saying, I'm gonna say, what did he say? Like, I'm gonna say, I can't stop or whatever. That's not the words. The words is mama say, mama say. Like, we knew what they were saying. We knew that whatever they were saying wasn't no English words anyway. And I'm glad they wrote the lyrics right there. Mama say, mama say, mama say. Like, that's what it is. We were not crazy. Because I saw the videos on the internet saying, nah, it said, I'm not going to stop. No, it's not. We know it was mama say. Okay. Yo, first of all, let me just say, them damn Jackson jeans are strong as hell. Strong as hell. Look at this man. Look. This dude, that's him. That's Mike. That's off the wall Mike. That, you know, when he still had the that's off the wall Mike. He got the nose. He got the nose. This looks, and Antoine Fuqua, who's the director, is fantastic. Great director as well. First and foremost, we absolutely will have a watch party for this. This has to be. First of all, this is going to probably feel like a concert more than anything. Yes. Hold me to that. We absolutely got to do a watch party to this. That looks great. That's a great trailer. I don't need to see any more. You know, I mean, I don't really see the point. We already saw the greatest highlights already there. So it looks like we're going to have some flashbacks and stuff. But like I said, looking at that trailer, if that's the majority of the movie, it looks like it's going to end with the accusations. That's what I'm if I'm taking an educated guess, it looks like it's going to end with the allegations, probably end on some sort of, hook like that. Because let's be honest, if you've watched one Michael Jackson biopic, they always show Mike, in the courts and stuff like that. So the fact that they didn't show that and they were only showing the good stuff, I think they're smart to kind of keep that hook later on. But this man and that young man, he looks just like his dang on uncle. Like, it's a little crazy how all them Jacksons look like, all of them, except for Tito. Tito looked a little different. Everybody else, whoo, strong jeans, boy. I tell you. Yeah, we got to get the Pepsi commercial too. Let's get that Pepsi commercial. Tito. We got to get all of it, everything. I'm excited for this now. I cannot wait for this. I think this is going to be solid. You guys let me know. What did you think about the Michael trailer? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Bubbles got to be there too. Get Bubbles in there too. All right. Let's move on. What else did I have? The nose is a prosthetic. What? Yeah. I mean, I'm okay. Listen, good makeup. That's fine. That works. Uh let's see. We have some more. You know what? Let me do my review. I'll do my review and then we'll get into the Hawkeye drama a little later. Let's talk about Predator Badlands. So, Predator Badlands, in case you did not know, is it is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, and Trachtenberg is the same one that has given us the more recent Predator movies. So we're talking about Prey, Killer of Killers, which both you need to go see those. Those are solid, great films, especially if you are a fan of the Predator franchise. I absolutely love both of those. So, of course, that was going to inform my expectations when it came to Predator Badlands, right? Like, I needed to really have an idea of what we're going to get, and I think this was part of it. So, Predator Badlands, let me kind of start off with an introduction for it. You have this is set in the future, right, on a deadly remote planet, and it follows this predator named Dek, Dek, Dek. He's a young predator. He's an outcast from his clan who finds an unlikely ally in Thea and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Right? Okay, so we got that. Um, Let me first start off with what I thought was good in this film, and then we can go into the other stuff. So first and foremost, I really liked the opening. I thought the opening was really dope. I loved how the story jumped right into an action sequence. We got right into a lot of the uh, culture. I loved how we learned more of the Yacha clan, their codes, how their families get down or don't with certain things. I thought they did a fantastic job with that, especially giving us a little bit more background into why they do what they do, and just their mindsets in general. I also really enjoyed their weapons. I like the new weapons that we got to see. I like the technology. That's something I've always liked with the Predator franchise, is how their weapons are always just one or two steps ahead of everyone else. But they did a really good job showing that. I also really appreciated not only the advanced technology, but I like how they gave us Deck, the character, and I like how they put him in these situations that really forced us to see him be more resourceful, right? And if you're a fan of the Predator franchise at all, you know that whether it's Arnold, whether it's Danny Glover, whether it's Sanaa Lathan, whoever, one of the key things in a Predator movie is showing resourcefulness, and especially in this film, in a different environment. And I love the environment that they put us in too, right? We're in this world where there's a whole lot of crazy creatures around. You don't know what's going on with the planets. You don't know what's going on with the plant life. Like, everything here is dangerous. Everything here is a problem. And I love the fact that, this predator, he's trained. This is part of his culture. And it is to learn all of this stuff, to adapt, to go. Man, these things were crazy, right? This thing right here, if you see it, you already know this thing was crazy. But I love the fact that they force him in these situations to just make him adapt. Things are not easy for him. He has these challenges, and I really like that. And of course, even with this scene here, I like the different aliens, the different creatures, because this is on a different world after all. I love that. I love the challenge that they had to go against, the opposition, we'll call them that. This big giant ultimate creature is nuts. The unique ability that this creature has is fantastic, and I love how they tied all of that in to the story. I thought they did a good job with that. I also have to say the action I thought was top notch. I liked what they did in the fight scenes here. The best part about the action, I think, is that they found a way and I talk about this in other films too, the slow motion was done intentionally and it was well timed and it wasn't dragged out. It wasn't just, oh, let me jump up in the air, and do a slow motion slice or what. No, no, no. Like, you're doing the slow motion during very fast paced scenes, and you do need to slow it down for us to catch it and to appreciate it. And man, when they get to slicing and dicing things, yes, I like that a whole lot. I thought they did a good job with that. And yeah, I thought they did that especially well with the environment. I also like the story for the most part. For the most part, I liked how they actually included a little bit more emotion in this story. I like how this whole uh partnership, or this, and I'm saying that very, very loosely. I like how that worked out. I liked how they introduced this new challenge for the Predator with this story element. And I thought that they had some decent little twists as well. There were a couple things that I was like, oh, that's different, and I think that if you're not paying too much attention, you will be pleasantly surprised with some little moments in the story. And I have to say, I like the acting. I thought the acting was done very well. Elle Fanning, I thought she did a very good job in the roles that she played here. She did a good job. Dimitri, the actor who plays Deck, he did a very good physical performance as the Predator. I thought that they did a good job with that. So anyway, let me kind of go now into what I thought was bad. So when it comes to the Predator himself, and this is a nitpick, I already know, but I did not need to see this brother's face all the time. I didn't need to see it. Arnold said it best. That is a ugly mother effer. Okay, he's an ugly mofo. I didn't need to see the whole or majority of the movie with him with no mask. I'm just saying, y'all, every time we seen a Predator, 98% of the time he got his mask on. I'm like, y'all couldn't have kept the mask. The mask was kind of cool. So I was a little disappointed that they didn't leave the mask on. Now, does this hurt the movie? No, it does not. This is just a nitpick on my part. I know it's a very minor thing. And I also understand that the director wanted us to see the Predator's face because he does do emotions and shows that through his face. I get it. I'm just saying I would have liked a little bit more mask time. But I think the biggest issue with this, it is actually the story. The story is unfortunately rather predictable. There are certain elements in the story that kind of lets you know exactly where they're going, how they're doing it. Yes, there were some emotional moments and a little bit more drama, but those things also let you know, okay, this is where we're going with the story. This is what y'all planning to do. And again, it just really makes certain things predictable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that a Predator movie needs to be deep. It doesn't. But you also don't want it to be overly predictable either. You still want some elements of surprise. And I do think that this one felt a little too formulaic. That's all. Anyway, let me kind of give you my reason here. Overall, I will say that Predator Badlands, it was an action-packed addition to the franchise of Predator, and it does bring along a little bit more heart than probably expected. Now, while the story is not the most exciting or captivating, it's not the deepest, the film, I think, makes up for it for still having entertaining fights and a new perspective with the Predator being the main hero. We've never really had the Predator be the main hero, and I thought that that was a nice original take and direction to take. So anyway, when it comes to the rating for Predator Badlands, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie. I had fun with it. Like I said, I am a fan of the franchise already. Now, I should give you some warning. There are a lot of subtitles and captions, which, listen, if you're not a fan of those type of things, sorry. There is obviously some dialogue in there, but You got to get used to some of the captions and subtitles in there. And there is a quick mid-credit scene, which I really liked. There is no post-credit scene, so do not feel like you have to stay all the way to the end of the credits. There's nothing there. But anyway, you guys let me know. Have you seen Predator Badlands, or do you plan on seeing it? If and when you do, come on back to this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. All right. That is that. Okay. So now that we have that down, Anthony, what you got? I wonder if they will explain why MJ never really used his real voice. YouTube Michael Jackson's real voice, if you are confused. Yeah, no, it's actually true that he if you listen to a lot of stories from other people, they will tell you how shocking it was to have Michael use his real voice. And that's when you realize, yeah, he's still a brother from Indiana, from Gary, Indiana at that. Okay, he's a brother from the hood with brothers. Okay, so no, Michael didn't walk around talking like this all the time. No, Michael had a voice. So yeah, it's definitely a little shocking, and I don't know if they'll talk about it, but that would be interesting if they do. All right, now let's get to the last topic of the night. We got a little drama. With Hawkeye. All right, Jeremy Renner is in the news because apparently he's in some hot water. Now, the story's got a couple different angles to it, so I'll try and go through it as best I can. I'm not going to go too deep into every single allegation, every single this, that, whatever, but I'll give you the main beats to it. But Jeremy Renner, aka Hawkeye, he got some problems. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. So it says here, Yi Zhao, hopefully I said that right, a Chinese filmmaker, has accused Jeremy Renner of abuse and threats to report her to ICE. That's the immigration police, basically, for those of you that don't know. This is what she said on Instagram, just to give you the snippets. Over the past months, I have lived with fear for my safety and deep distress over the treatment I have endured. No woman, filmmaker, or creative should have to work under such emotional, psychological pressure while trying to protect her name and the integrity of her work. Wait a minute. On another post, she alleged that she first came into contact with Renner in June 2025. So this is recent, when the actor reportedly texted her explicit pictures of himself. Following that, she and the actor reportedly began dating, after which she asked him to be part of her aforementioned film project. All right, first and foremost, let me slow down. You're accusing this man of abuse and bad treatment. Okay, I get that. Then you go and say that this man sent you some unsolicited, dirty pictures, right, of himself. But then you go and actually date him. Like you're in a relationship with him. Now, before we get into the rest of the details, okay? Now, I'm not going to get all Me Too on y'all and believe them, and I'm not going to get into all that. Now, I am a believer that when people have accusations, I do agree that we should believe them. That does not mean that you just take everything that they say as the truth. All that means is that, oh, you said that this happened? Okay, I believe you. So now we're going to follow it up and see if there's evidence. We're going to find out, hear both sides. We're just going to take it seriously. That's what believe them means, right? Believe them just means that when the accusation comes up, you don't just automatically dismiss it and never look into it. You're just going to hear them out. That's all. So I'm here for that, right? She said that Jeremy Renner did some bad stuff, abused her, whatever. Okay. But let me just say this. I don't think it helps your case in garnering more support to sit here and say that this man sent you some adult pictures of himself and then you gonna turn around and date him. Clearly it worked. I'm just saying, like, if you didn't like it, that's fine. But clearly it worked. I mean, if you're trying to paint him as like this bad guy, like, all I'm saying is you shouldn't have brought that up. I don't see why you would bring that up, especially after you've gotten into a relationship with him. We did not need those details. Okay? You did not need to bring that up. That's all. That's all. I'm assuming that you're telling the truth. I'm assuming, I'm not discrediting nothing. I'm just saying, to help your story, you don't need to say, oh, he sent me these ugly, unsolicited pictures, and then we fell in love. You know, it's like, come on now. Like that. All right, let's get back to the story. Sorry. Anyway, so she put him in the movie. They started working together, right? And she's been on her Instagram. She wrote this long post and everything about all of this. Okay. Now, this is from the Daily Mail. Josh Boswell. Now, keep that in mind. Daily Mail. Keep that in mind. Now, he's the one that's been reporting about this. She went to him with the story, gave him all the details. So he's the one reporting. He goes on and says this in his report. Zhao claimed that she and Renner had a falling out after the actor refused to promote the movies he collaborated on with her. So keep in mind, after he sent her the goods, right? He sent her the goods, and after they've been dating, he became a part of one of her movies. It was like some Disney movie or whatever. I believe he just did the narration. He did the voiceover. So she's like, oh, this is dope. I got Jeremy Renner, my boyfriend, or whoever I'm seeing at the time, and he's in the movie. All I need him to do is like promote it on his social media, or I got to do this or that, you know? And he's like, yeah, nah. He's not going to promote the movie. Now, first of all, sir, if you're seeing this woman, if you're dating this woman, you knew that was part of the deal. You knew you was trying to do a favor. You did the little project. You knew she was going to need promotion. Ain't nobody who's ever done a movie, especially like on their own or whatever, not going to need some help. And you know you had that leverage. But for whatever reason, he was like, nah, I'm good. All right. Now, Zhao detailed an alleged incident that reportedly occurred in August 20th, at Renner's home. Now, Renner allegedly became intoxicated, leading to an altercation that reportedly led her to lock herself in a room, fearing for her life. Oh boy. This is starting to sound rather familiar. I think some of y'all already know who and what I'm talking about. Young lady, fearing for her life, running away. So these were some of the text messages. We'll get to that in a second. But like, this is the thing, right? Like they were dating. This ain't like a he said, she said. No, like they were together, right? She's got pictures. Zhao provided the outlet, Daily Mail, with alleged conversations from the night between her and the colleagues at Disney. Just give you the short gist of it. She texts people at Disney and was like, hey, Jeremy's like going crazy. You know, I'm scared. I'm locked in this room. If you don't hear from me, I'm letting you know. Right? Like that's the gist of it. Right? Now, during a custody battle in 2019, keep in mind that like Jeremy Renner's, I believe that was his ex-wife, reported alleged abusive behavior from Renner. Now, later on, Renner denied the allegations and all that. So there is a history here. Now, when it happened back in 2019, it was a he said, she said, and they dropped it and everybody moved on. But now you got a second allegation against Jeremy Renner. Second allegation. Now, just when you thought this thing was going in a certain direction. All right. It says Zhao shared screenshots of the said alleged altercation. In them, she reportedly texted, "Go to hell. All names are given. You're a pig. You used all apps to send blank pics. No one said anything so far." Okay. That's what she was saying to him. But check this out. If you look at the text message, let me see. Do I have the text? Yes. If you look at the text message, you can't see it. Hold on. It says here, Jeremy Renner's part. And it says here, immigration will be notified of your cutoff. It cut off. Okay. So when they say that Jeremy Renner threatened to call ICE on her, this is what they're talking about. And it says immigration will be notified of your, and we don't get the rest of that text. Says here, Renner then reportedly replied, immigration has been notified of your blank, and that is what's visible in the screenshot shared by Zhao. According to the Daily Mail, Zhao refused to provide the rest of Renner's alleged message. Oh boy. What else did he say? What are you trying to hide, ma'am? What else is there? Listen, I'm not disputing the fact that maybe he was drunk. I'm not disputing I'm just saying it looks like there's a little bit more to this story. And what are you hiding from ICE? Is she undocumented? Is there something? What else is there? I don't know. So clearly, this has gotten a little interesting. Now, with all that said, right? So we heard the allegations. We see the partial text messages, right? This is also from the Daily Mail. Now, I don't know if y'all have been following this or not. I didn't know if this was even worth a story, but I thought this was an interesting connection. The Daily Mail is getting dragged right now. The reason why the Daily Mail is getting dragged, and you guys can be the judge of this, is because they also had an exclusive story a couple days ago. And this exclusive story from the Daily Mail basically said that Millie Bobby Brown, aka 11 from Stranger Things, she filed a harassment and bullying claim before they started shooting the last season of Stranger Things. They say here that there were pages and pages of accusations, and they revealed the latest bombshell claims facing co-star David Harbour. So 11 and her daddy were having issues on set, and according to this exclusive, this allegation, harassment, and bullying was being done by David to Millie Bobby Brown. Okay. However, this is the Daily Mail now. With all this, everybody's like, "Ooh, this is crazy. Ooh, this is wild." And then you see this. Then you see David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown at the premiere of Stranger Things. That don't look like no bullying, harassing type of situation to everybody else. What are you talking? What? They don't look. Listen, we have seen and we have heard a whole bunch of stories of co-stars and people who don't get along. Blake Lively was just going through that whole situation, right? Like a whole bunch of times there are people that don't get along, they don't like each other, whatever. And you know what happens? They usually separate them, right? If there's really a beef, if there's really an issue, if somebody went and filed files and cases of all these allegations against somebody, you're not about to go hugging on that person. Even if the studio told you, they would just be like, hey, show up, smile for the camera. Your seats are over there. We put the other dude over there. Y'all don't ever have to talk. Y'all don't have to. I'm just saying, this is not new. There are ways around it because keep in mind, you still got to do your job, right? Your job is you still got to show up. You got to promote the movie. You still got to promote the show, whatever. But I'm just saying, if you really got beef with somebody, you're not going to be hugging on them and doing all this stuff. Remember, I told you this was about the Daily Mail. Look what they did. Right after everybody started dragging them on the internet and calling them out for that, this is what the Daily Mail posted just today. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour put on a bizarrely overly affectionate show at Stranger Things party after bullying and harassment claims. So now they're saying that they're acting weird. But I'm just like, I mean, are they like they're taking pictures together? Like they're laughing together. Listen, I get it. I know that they're actors, but I'm just saying, like, you might as well give these guys the Emmys and the Oscars or something because this is a hell of a stunt. This is a hell of a stunt if they hate each other so much. So anyway, I say all of this because the Daily Mail has been the primary outlet that has ran with this story against Jeremy Renner. And I've also seen, I think the Daily Beast also talk about it. Listen, you don't see Variety doing this. You don't see the Hollywood Reporter doing this. You don't see Deadline doing this. These are the major outlets, by the way, that they can report on these things. They can verify these things. They can go straight to the studio with these things. They got the connects. You don't even see TMZ talking about this. So, now I've gone on Zhao's Instagram. She is giving a whole lot of credit to, the Daily Mail for reporting on this and all that. That's cool. I'm just saying these waters are getting muddy. And as somebody who has dealt with some of these outlets as well, I remember when we were doing Recast T'Challa, I think it was the Daily Beast. And I know, I get it. They're a little right-leaning, conservative, whatever. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, how do you twist anything with Recast T'Challa? And like, when you're interviewing me, and I'm going to keep it 100, I'm going to keep it clean or whatever. I remember they posted something with a headline that was like, oh, the sexist Recast T'Challa campaign, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? When we spoke on the phone, I specifically had a conversation with you about how this was not sexist and all the ways it wasn't, but then you're going to run with that headline. So I understand how outlets will go with the far crazy, twisting and spin and all that. But all I'm saying is it does put a little bit more question into this whole situation with Jeremy Renner. But I know one thing. Hawkeye finna die. Hawkeye is gonna die in Avengers Doomsday, and that's all we need to know. That's the only thing I can take away from all of this. Okay? Because yes, we just came fresh off of the Jonathan Majors situation. And we saw how Disney handled that. We saw how Marvel was like, damn, he got guilty, fired. Well, we don't have a court case right now, right? It's not a court case, so it's not exactly the same situation. But Jeremy Renner's getting older. Marvel has to reboot. They're moving on. Everybody about to die in this Doomsday movie anyway. So if he's in this movie, he's out of here. He's out of here. Book it. Book it. Hawkeye's done. So if there was any idea or hope of him staying around even longer, that's over with. Because this headline, if it has any more traction, if there's a legal lawsuit that follows up, you're over. It's finished. So you guys let me know. What do you think about this whole Jeremy Renner Hawkeye situation? Do you believe her? Do you think it's a little shady? Do you need more information? How do you feel about the Daily Mail being the ones covering it? Whatever you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Let's see. Shogun about Mike. But why did he talk so high then? I don't know. It could have been to preserve his singing voice, I think. Maybe it was an image thing. Maybe it was childhood trauma. It could just be. Mike was not, listen, I'm not a doctor or nothing, but Mike had issues. You know, you talking about a grown man who still wanted to, who his whole childhood was taken away from him, right? He was forced into our lives as a performer early. I highly doubt he ever got therapy. And if he did, I don't know if it worked. Given the allegations that he went through and all that stuff of like, yeah, just, hang around little kids and all, Mike was off. He was super talented, but my man was off. So why he was speaking in a high voice, I feel like that's the least of things that we should have been asking questions about. Like of all the things Mike did, that's the least of them, Kat, what's up? Sorry for being late, but have you seen the X-Men 97 trailer? If you haven't, can you play it? Did they drop that? Did they drop a new X-Men 97 trailer? I don't think we have a trailer yet. At least nothing official. Yeah, I don't think we have an official trailer yet. So yeah, if we did have one, and if I was able to play it, I would play it. But yeah, if you do see anything out there, it's probably fake. Like there are a lot of people that will do fake trailers. So yeah, be careful with that. That's probably a fake trailer. But thank you. I appreciate you. Interesting. Could you respond to new rock stars regarding Damson Idris becoming T'Challa? So I'm sorry, I actually was gonna make this a topic. But so I actually did watch this video. Y'all know I don't really watch their channel like that. I have my own issues with them or whatever. But recently it was brought to my attention that the channel that shall not be named made a video based off of the whole Damson Idris thing, right? So, in case you did not know, Damson has been seen with it was at the Vogue, it was a Vogue fashion thing or whatever, and you had Queen Ramonda herself, in full Black Panther garb and everything. You also had Danny Okoye, she was there. Tiana was there as well. So it was kind of cool. And then out of nowhere, while they dressed up, as the Dora Milaje and Queen Ramonda and all that, out of nowhere, Damson Idris came up and the Queen was pulling him to the side. They was taking pictures and stuff. Hold on. Do I have it on I think I have it on my Instagram. And of course, this got a lot of people thinking like, wait a minute, sir. Is this man teasing that he could be the new T'Challa? Could it be? And I mean, it's a very fair, valid question, right? Because we've seen how Damson would do interviews and how he would be, I would say, coy to some degree of whether or not he would be the new Black Panther, right? And here's the some of the images there. So while he was doing a lot of these press events and stuff like that, the question just kept coming up. And then, if you saw the interview, and I'm sure I remember we played it here, they asked him like, "Hey, have you been in talks with Marvel, and are you going to be the new Black Panther?" And he's like, "Yes, no, yes, no," stuff like that, playing around. Look at this though. And listen, he looks like a good fit. He looks like a great fit if he were to play, um, T'Challa. Now, the question here was about what New Rock Stars had said. Okay, so I'm not going to do a full dissection of what they said because actually I left a comment on there. I did leave a comment on there. Because I thought that for the most part, they did an okay job at just kind of giving an overall idea of what Recast T'Challa was or why it got started. I do think that they missed one thing though. They missed one part where they were like, "Oh, well, Recast T'Challa started right after Chadwick died." No, it did not. So we can correct that right there. Recast T'Challa came up after Marvel announced that they were not going to recast the role. I was not going to sit here and be insensitive and sit here and be like, "Oh, let's recast T'Challa," and this man ain't even been in the ground yet. No, that is incorrect. Like, maybe there was some other random person saying that, but like the official petition and all that, and it's literally dated, happened after Marvel said what they said, right? It was in reaction to that. I think one of the bigger issues that I had was something that we've always talked about, though. We've talked about this constantly, which was the whole idea of, oh, there's no big deal if they don't recast. Characters die and they stay dead and it gives meaning. So I do want to address that part. And I want to address the part that does not get said in those conversations. Is it true that characters die in movies, shows, and stuff? Yes. And those deaths that have a level of finality do matter, right? I get that. So actually, let me phrase this a little better because I might clip this for somebody. I want to address the big point when it comes to the death of Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, Recast T'Challa, and what people keep missing in this conversation. When people talk about killing off the character and leaving him dead, and that's being respectful, I understand it, but I want to push back against it because people are missing a key point. No one is saying that if you kill this character off, that is taboo or that you can never do that. Here's the thing. Characters die all the time. Superman has died. James Bond has died. But you know what happens? They get the privilege of coming back. They get the privilege to let their legacy continue growing by not staying dead. They get the privilege of not being replaced by some other random character that people do not have a connection with. And that is one of the main reasons why Recast T'Challa was pushed by myself and by the 60,000+ people who signed the petition, because we want the same level of privilege that builds a legacy with characters through recasting. What does that mean? Superman is only popular because he gets to be recast and revisioned constantly. Batman is constantly recast. James Bond, Spider-Man, they're constantly recast. And you know what happens with that? Even when their movies suck, There have been bad Superman movies. There have been bad Batman movies. There have been bad James Bond movies. There have been bad Spider-Man movies. Recasting allows them to continue to thrive and to have that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth chance of being successful. So when you sit here and say, oh, the very first Black leading character in comic books or in movies is going to die and stay dead, you rob them of the same luxury and privilege of building a legacy as these other popular fictional characters who, by the way, happen to all be white. And that's the part that I think people are missing when we talk about recast T'Challa. We're not saying forget Chadwick. We're not saying forget what Ryan Coogler did or nothing like that. Not at all. Not at all. All due respect to the cast, family, friends, fans, all of that. What we're saying is the same way you built up these historical, popular, fictional characters who are his white counterparts for decades through recasting, you can do the same with him. Treat T'Challa the same way you would treat any other successful character. You have never seen a successful, popular character grow to the heights of stardom because they get replaced by their kid, or they get replaced by some other random character that no one knows, or because they get gender swapped. That is a failed formula. And all I'm saying is, don't be experimental with the first Black leading character, the first Black leading superhero. That ain't the time to try something different. Nah, give me the Superman formula. Give me the Batman formula. Give me the James Bond Spider-Man formula. Give me the same treatment that you would give all these other characters that have been able to grow through the decades. Because last time I checked, not one of y'all checked for mantles. Nobody cares about mantles. We care about the characters who define the mantle. Y'all do not go pay all this money to go watch a Kryptonian fly in the sky. You go to see Kal-El. You have never, ever in your life paid money to go watch a 007 movie. You've paid for James Bond movies. There have been other people that have played Batman in the comics and the stories. Last time I checked, y'all have only seen Bruce Wayne. Why can't we get T'Challa to be the same? Why? I don't understand the logic. Recasting has never been disrespectful. I've never heard of someone being recast and then all of a sudden we forget all the characters or the actors before him. That's never been a thing. Last time I checked, the second we got Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, people was like, yo, check out the old Wonder Woman first too. Like, what are you talking about? We started talking about Christopher Reeve. We got a documentary because we had a Henry Cavill, because we had a David Corenswet. We started looking back and remembering. Why can't we do that with Chadwick? Why can't somebody else be T'Challa, not Junior, not Toussaint, not whatever, be T'Challa, and then we can have the same fun conversation that we've always had and been like, man, you know, I know Sean Connery was a dope James Bond, but man, I like the new one right now. Like, I like the Daniel Craig one. He's a little that's a fun conversation to have. No one ever sat here and said, oh man, you know, Daniel Craig, he's disrespectful to the memory of Sean Connery. No, we can't do that. We can't make Chadwick the first. We can't make him the same way Michael Keaton is Batman. He is Batman. We can't do that with Chadwick and be like, nah, that's T'Challa. Oh man, but we got another T'Challa. Let's see how they compare and let's see how they contrast. And man, I hope in our lifetime we have 10 T'Challas. I don't care how many Black Panthers we have. We can have 15 million Black Panthers because it's never been about the mantle of who is Black Panther. It's always been about T'Challa. Why can't we do that? And that's the question I want people, especially even at New Rockstars, I want you to wrestle with that question. Where have you seen mantles be popular and successful in comics, in movies, in TV series? And why do you want to give that lower standard to a iconic and legendary person like Chadwick Boseman and the character of T'Challa? That doesn't add up to me. I feel like if a character is worthy of all that attention and stature, then you should treat them like all the other ones that have the same stature that could be comparable. Why can't we do that? Anyway, y'all done got me on a recast T'Challa rant. That was not the plan, but here we are. J Dot, I hope that answered your question. I'm sure it did. But thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate you. Let's see, Anthony. The trailer was leaked, not official release. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I can't confirm it, so I don't care. I'm not doing unofficial leaks. They not coming after me. No, thank you. Let's see. Thankfully, the fans pushed back in the comments. Good. Like that. And listen, we need stuff like that, right? Like I again, and I hopefully people push back respectfully. I don't have a problem with having a difference of opinion. And I do think that there is value in hearing these different perspectives. Listen, I've said this before, and I don't know if Jubilee will ever do this because I know it's a very niche topic, but man, oh man, put me in a 1 versus 20. 1 versus 20, recast T'Challa versus anti-recasters. Y'all wouldn't be ready. Y'all wouldn't be ready. Y'all would not. I would listen. I'll do that. Set it up. Set it up. Somebody set it up. I will be there. Take all the people you want on the internets. Okay, I ain't gonna name no names. I ain't gonna give them no 5 minutes of fame or nothing. You know the usual suspects. Put them up. Line them up. Line them up, and I guarantee you we're gonna have a conversation. Now I bet you I win too. I bet you I will. Anyway, you man, listen, tell me y'all wouldn't pay for that. Tell me y'all wouldn't pay to see that. 1 versus 20? I want that. I want it. Portia, what is up? It has been a while. How are you? It's been a minute, but wanted to ask if you've seen the new Percy Jackson trailer. I have not. I haven't watched the Disney Plus one. I watched all the movies. I watched all the Percy Jackson movies because I love Greek mythology stuff, but I never watched the TV show. But I did see that the trailer dropped, but I just hadn't watched it yet. So I hope it's good. I think people like it. I haven't followed the show too much, but good to see you. Thank you for the support. Reagan, what you got? Any Daredevil 2 updates? Speaking of, you wouldn't thought Mayor Kingpin won the way we were lit in New York this week. We outside. Listen, hey, shout out to New York. All I know is whenever you can make the other political side scared and mad and angry, you probably did whatever was right for your side of the aisle. Because all I've seen is New York is a communist state. It's now gonna be jihadist. Everyone in New York is gonna become Muslims, and America's over. I'm sitting here like, for a mayor, y'all tripping like this? Oh, not a representative, not a senator, not a governor. Y'all tripping over a mayor? Yikes. That's wild. Oh, man. Like, when I tell you, and it's so funny because, I feel like New York is super unique. Okay. One of the greatest cities in the world, all that good stuff, right? Shout out to New York. I got family out there. But it's wild to me that like nobody would care about the mayor of anywhere else. Mayor of Chicago, don't nobody care about you. Johnson gone somewhere. Mayor of, the Texas, mayor of Pennsylvania, nobody would care. They would not even, Pete Buttigieg was the closest you had to a mayor running for president. Nobody cared. Didn't work. Governors, okay, that's a little different. But a mayor, y'all putting this mayor on such a pedestal, you gonna force him to start running for something. I'm sitting there like, y'all tripping. But anyway, congrats to the people in New York. Listen, that's what y'all voted for. Go for it. That's great. I hope y'all get everything he promised. Let's see, JN. There have been a lot of Superman after Reeves. He's still the best, and I think Chadwick will be the greatest BP too, and that's possible. You know, I mean, if we actually get other T'Challas, I want to have that same conversation. I would love to see somebody else play T'Challa and be like, okay, you know what? I still like Chadwick. You know, this brother did a good job, but I still like Chadwick. Or maybe one day somebody will come and be better. That's okay too, right? That doesn't take anything away from Chadwick. Sometimes, listen, there was a Dr. J, then there was a Magic Johnson, then there was a Michael Jordan, then there was a Kobe, then there was a LeBron. You can have that conversation of who's the greatest. It was Michael. You can have that conversation. Shout out to Kobe. But it's fun to have that. I like greatness. I like to have that kind of, I want black representation to be just as spoiled as white counterparts have been with all these other popular characters. Why can't we have the same? Anyway. Thank you, JM. Appreciate you so much for that. All right, guys. I feel like that's it. Dang. See, I knew I messed up. The second I sat here and said, this shouldn't be a long stream. It shouldn't be that long. You know, I knew I messed up. I tried to catch myself. I tried, but I failed. Anywho, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you always for hanging out. I do have welcome to Derry. So I don't know if I will be available on Monday. So if I'm not available on Monday, I'm going to pre-record my Welcome to Derry episode, and I'll try to drop it by like Sunday, right? So right after. So episode 3 for Welcome to Derry is coming out. I don't know if we'll be live, but I'll try and drop that for you guys on Sunday, at least so you can keep up with it. What else do I have? I think that's about it. I think that's it. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. I want you guys to make sure you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Please be safe out there, especially if you're traveling. Ain't nobody flying out there like that. Oh, Kat, what you got? Hold on. Perfect guy recast as General Thunderbolt Ross is none other than Scott Swope. Sure, why not? Hey, listen, they recast General Ross one time. Do it again. Go for it. Fine. Like I'm not opposed. Not opposed. Fine. I don't know who Scott Swope is. I'm sorry. I don't know who he is, but I'm not opposed to it either. Whatever. But thank you so much for that, Kat. I appreciate you. But all right, guys, you know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Say T'Challa, we need a recast. Chat would agree, and I truly believe that. Stories untold, I pray that we get to unfold. Don't kill him, we don't need to see that. A black man is king, I think that is crucial. If not for the grown-ups, the kids should move you. Representation, let it multiply. Stop telling the stories how legacies die. We can explore the world of Wakanda by addition and not replacement. 1.3 billion, how was that? And I'm making a statement. Being pigeonholed to a role like there could be only one is deflating. Man, it's a mindset that ain't died yet, cause the lack of seeing our faces. Shuri can be the queen of the nation. Women should feast. We want elevation. Now wouldn't it be dope if they rose up together without doing something as cold as erasing them? We got respect for Ryan and Nate. They doing their best. They stuck in the middle, but I hope they think about what is at stake. Don't rush it, but please let the saga continue. Doubling down on Black Death is a trope we no longer want to handle. Wakanda forever, T'Challa forever. It's never been about the man. So what is we saying? This ain't about Phantom and getting my way. It's all for the love, it's not for the hate. No matter what people are trying to say, we cast T'Challa. We cast T'Challa.